Was good. Was good. Was good. Yeah, but you guys see the title. I'm about to go in on this one today. I'm about to go fucking in. Yeah, and I'm gonna get really disrespectful. So if you get your feelings hurt easily, um, please watch my channel. Please watch this video and fuck you. So yeah, I just have to make that. Yeah. Shout out to Mysterio. Mysterio, my nigga. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna get real in this video. All my videos on this channel from here on are gonna be real. If you don't like my channel, if you one of these little spiritual fake ass faggot niggas that everything gotta be spiritual or it's not esoteric or you're not talking about like get the fuck off my page, bitch. Go fucking choke on a fucking stick. Fucking asshole. Like I don't have time for that shit, nigga. We gotta get real. That's the thing. People are so fake, and like I can see a little bit of people waking up because Saturn's in Aries right now. So a lot of people like everyone's like getting hit. Everyone's getting their realization right now. Like I see it like with everything. Like, well, I'm not even gonna get into astrology because like that's the thing. A lot of like there's no reason to talk about astrology unless you're going to make money from astrology. Astrology is something you practice. Like, do you talk about brushing your teeth? Do you talk about putting on your shirt? Do you talk about you fucking a bitch? Or like, you don't talk about certain things because you just something you just do. So why the fuck would I talk about astrology if I am astrology? The reason the day I was born, I had an astrology screenshot. So I'm acting astrology all day, every day of my life throughout the months, the years, things happen due to the transits. So why would I talk about something that you should naturally be doing every day? Unless you're going to make money from it. I'm not getting paid from YouTube. So why the fuck would I talk about something I'm not getting paid for? Anyone who talks about astrology, I don't have an issue with that. Nothing wrong with that. Especially if you're getting paid money for it, then go ahead, talk about it because that's your way you make money. But like all these people, like you have a lot of people out here that want to talk about shit that like just for no reason. Like it's for like they're trying to prove something to somebody that they don't even know. Like I don't know, it's weird, but we're gonna get real on this channel. Women are fucking retarded. Society is gonna collapse. And when I say society, I mean like the mind. I'm not just talking about physical society. That could collapse too. That I really don't know too much of because I'm not in the government. I'm not a Mason. Um, I'm not anybody of that. So, well, I don't even want to say that because they don't even have. This has nothing to do with them because societies collide. Like even when you see these, you know, the nigga who burnt the warehouse and all of this other shit. There's a lot of shit going on behind closed doors. That's one thing you guys got to know. So when I say society's collapsing, it has nothing to do with the government. It has nothing to do like you see a lot of shit going on. Like a lot of that has to do with like because America, this system is cursed. So like I take back what I said about like oh the government and I'm not like society collapsing has nothing to do with the government. It has everything to do with like shit isn't in order. So this is what I mean by society collapsing. The minds of the people is that's collapsing. So like that nigga who burned down that fucking warehouse, that was like part of it. That was like part of it. So like that has nothing. I'm not saying like because I'm not here to say that that's good or that's bad. I can give a fuck about any of that shit. The only reason I bring that up is because this system is cursed. Remember I told you that America is cursed. This system is cursed. So there's gonna be things happening, and that's just one thing. There's thousands, there's hundreds of things, thousands of things that happen behind closed doors that nobody knows about that they don't tell you. Like the news is not meant to inform you. The news is just there to fucking just it's to push to make you think a certain way because the minds is the number one thing. Like this warehouse being burnt down, that's not a problem. That's not a big deal. What's the problem is nobody going to a warehouse to work. That's a bigger problem than a warehouse burning down. So they need to keep you thinking that it's normal to take your ass to a stupid fucking job like a fucking retard and work. And you have to, because not because the government says so, you have to because everyone believes in it. So the reason you have to go to work isn't because the government's telling you, it's because everybody believes in it. Or not everybody, but I would say like 30% of people believe in it, because if 30% of people stop believing in it, then the whole system wouldn't even work, because that would be a huge chunk of people not participating in this shit. So you got to keep that in mind. But society's got to collapse. Women are bitches. Women are trash. We already know that. I already exposed that shit. 99% of women are trash. So I got to reiterate that. Obviously, my mother isn't trash, so I can't say 100% of women. So 99% of women aren't trash. And I haven't met every woman in the world, so I can't say. So that's the only reason I don't say 100%, because my mother's a female. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And I've never met every woman. So that's the only reason I say 99% of bitches ain't trash. But probably like 99% of females I came across have some bitch quality, and they are trash. And we're going to expose some more of that. And we're going to expose how society is also trash. And that shit's gonna that shit is already collapsed, if you guys don't even already know. So I'm gonna be dropping the link too if anybody wants to come in. And yeah, another, like I said, what's the word? Discretion. If you're gonna get offended by my video, by my channel, just please stay tuned and watch and get offended and shut the fuck up, because you are nobody to me, and I don't give a fuck about any of you bitch ass niggas who got something negative to say. Nobody. One thing about this new age that we're in is nobody really. Everyone's so insecure, so people are insecure to express their anger. Like, this is why everyone has to say, "Oh, you're a hater." Is it most people are, everyone's a hater. Like 99% of people are haters. It just nobody wants to be looked at like a hater because everybody's so insecure. So everybody pretends to not be a hater, but they really are haters. Because like expressing yourself and voicing your opinion is known as being a hater. That's how it is. So now you have a whole bunch of people out here that are like, it's just like the whole, oh, I'm an individual. But yet you look at everybody's content, everybody talks about the same shit. Oh, I'm not a hater. But yet every time like you'll see a celebrity like Tiger Woods, he got a DUI. That's the top trending fucking news article. But yet if he got a fucking ace, or he hit a hole in one on the game, nobody gives a fuck. So people are haters. Like, you see what I'm saying? People are actually fucking haters. Like, but it's like everyone's so insecure because this whole Gen Z is like the most insecure generation. But at the same time, they think that they're the most smartest. But yet their intelligence is nothing but AI. So Gen Z's intelligence is AI intelligence. When you go to different generations, not to say they're not fuck ups, but they have more of a real intelligence. That's why all the best shit was created in other generations. Like, I was playing the game the other day, and like all the games nowadays suck. The only games that don't suck are the games that they kind of recreate that are like sequels or remasters, because they can't fuck up the old formula. All the movies nowadays, they suck. The only movies that don't suck, what I can't really say all the movies suck nowadays, to be honest. But the movies that suck even more are the movies that are like new. They're like new IPs. They're like something brand new. They're not like Terminator 6. Even though that will suck, it's not as bad as something brand new, because anything new is created by a different generation. So all the games nowadays, they fucking suck. That's why most of them are like free to play. Like all the most popular games are free to play. It's because it's a different generation. So different people are actually playing it, and none of these developers are even investing money into like real shit. It's all fake. So like everyone, what I'm trying to say is all the generation now, the generation that's the younger generation, they don't know how to create shit, and they're lame, they're bums, and they have no creativity. That's why everything fucking sucks now. And then even Gen Z will say everything sucks now. Everything is lame. which they are right in a way, but like another part of that is because their mind is mentally ill. So when you have mental illness, because I don't want to put everything on like it's mental illness, even though it is, because there's a part of it, life, like everything is lame because there's no creativity, but there's another aspect. Everything is lame because you have mental illness. So like if you can't go outside and walk through a park and feel like, damn, this is chill, it's fun, then that means you have a low tolerance or a high tolerance to stimuli. So or a low you have a high tolerance to stimuli. So that means you need to be stimulated by a whole bunch of shit. So you need to be on social media. So you can't go walk in a park and feel joy, or you can't put your phone down and feel joy. So therefore, when you pick up your phone, you think everything is lame on the phone. You think all the movies are lame, which they are lame. This is why I say it's kind of tricky, because movies, games, most of the shit is lame. But at the same time, if you can't go outside and put your phone down and still feel joy and you say that's lame, then you have mental illness. So like this is what I'm saying. Like most people are just mentally ill. He's like, that's funny. I was just on a date. Yeah, what the fuck is a date? As a date is like a waste of time nowadays. Like there's no point in a date unless it's like a fucking like I don't like fuck a date. That's a waste of my fucking time. All that shit costs money. Unless I'm just trying to fuck, and at that point I just go get a fucking escort, to be honest. Like literally at this point I'd rather just get an escort. But I'm not saying everybody should do that because everybody's different. Like me, I'm just like, I have a lot of Aquarius and I have an Aries moon, so I really don't give a fuck about relationships like that. Not to say I don't want to be in one, or I'd never want to be in one, but for me to want to be in a relationship, like I wouldn't mind being in one, but it has to be extremely perfect. It has to be perfect. If it's not perfect, if it's the slightest issue, then I don't want to be in it, and I can live with it. So like me, it has to be extremely perfect, and if it's not perfect, if there's arguing at all in that relationship, then I don't want to be in it, and I would just rather be alone. It's not like, oh, it's okay, we argue, people argue, it's going to be ups and downs. Anybody that tells you there's going to be ups and downs is a fucking retard, because there shouldn't ever really be an up and down. Not to say externally there's not going to be ups and downs, is internally there shouldn't be ups and downs. Let's just say if I lost my wallet, people will say that's a down, that's a negative thing. But if you feel depressed that you lost your wallet or sad, that means you haven't done the healing work internally, and um, you're mentally ill. And some people, I can't speak for everybody, because some people, they're not that strong spiritually to be able to reach that level of internal work, to be able to not be fazed by anything external to that degree. You're going to be fazed, but it's like a paper cut that hurts, right? A knife to the eye that hurts too, but the severity of it is different on different levels. So everybody's got to have some type of internal down, but how severe is it? Is it just a little tad, or is it major? Most people, it's major. So this is what I'm talking about. Like everybody, that's why I say you should not have any downs in life, because if you're really strong spiritually, your down should be like a little tap on. It doesn't matter what you go through externally, but not everybody can reach that, because we have a lot of weak ass, dumb ass, bitch ass spirits in this world. So he's like, I'm ready to hop online for sure. I'm gonna drop the link right now. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link. But I'm just ranting in this video. People are like, oh, what are you talking about? That's my last. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? You just like, shut the fuck up. I talk about however the fuck I want to talk about, bitch. Sometimes I'll be talking about something and I'll just talk about something else because I feel like it, bitch. Who the fuck is you? This is my channel. I talk how I want to talk. I talk about what I want to talk. Sometimes I'll just talk about shit that doesn't even make sense, and I'll just ramble. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck off my page, bitch. I don't give a fuck about any of you bitch ass, hoe ass, faggot ass niggas. I kiss my motherfucking ass. All right, you can join Mysterio. I just sent you the link. I don't get on this bitch to impress you bitch ass, faggot ass, hoe ass niggas. Shit is crazy. Yeah. I suggest. Oh, I don't even want to make any suggestions because like I said, everyone's different because if I give you a suggestion, I'm like projecting my situation. I'm not like anybody on this planet. I'm like different. And I don't say that to act like I'm better, even though I know I'm better. But I'm not saying that because I'm better. I'm saying that because reality has shown me I can't do what other people do. Like it's to like eventually I'm not gonna be able, like I'm to a point, like when I talk about breatharianism, how like it's to a point where I'm not even supposed to be eating anything. Even when it comes to like taking a shower, eventually I'm not gonna be using soap. And I'm not gonna use soap. I can't use anything. Like even the clothes, like the only reason I wear clothes is because you could get an indecent exposure charge. But like anything that has chemicals other than the air, I'm not supposed to use. So like clothes have chemicals, food have chemicals, um, headphones. I don't even have headphones. Like I have a pair. I fucking got these headphones for like $200. I don't even use them no more because there's chemicals in them, so I can't use headphones. Only reason I wear clothes is because you get indecent exposure charge, and I don't want to come on here nude. But so I have to wear clothes. So like soap. Eventually, I'm gonna stop using soap and shampoo. But in order to get to that level where you're not using soap and shampoo, you have to be on a high level energetically of breatharianism. So because when you eat, it makes you stink. So when you're not eating and you cut down certain calories and you're fasting for long periods and you develop enough internal energy, then you don't produce smell. So this is why when you become a certain level breatharian, because there's different levels of breatharianism. Breatharianism is eating little or none at all. Breatharianism is not just not eating. So it's different levels. So once you hit a certain level, then you don't produce an odor and a stench no more. So it just depends. But I might end up having to get rid of everything. Eventually, I'm not going to be even showering because the waters have chemicals. All I'm like, it's going to get to that point, but that's going to take time for me to get to that point. To be honest, like that's going to take time. So I'm going to get there. Like right now, like sorry, right now I do use soap, but I use natural soap. I only get natural organic soap, like where it's like the healthiest I can get. None of it's natural or organic. Like organic is a fucking hoax. There's no such thing as organic. That's fucking like anybody that tells you that there's something that, oh, I'm eating healthy. There's no such thing as eating healthy, you retard. You're eating healthier. There's no such thing as eating healthy. It's eating healthier. A cup of berries is more healthier than a cup of French fries. So you're eating healthier. You're not eating healthy. There's no such thing as eating healthy, dumb fuck. There's no such thing. And I'm not saying for you not to eat. You eat, but you eat because of pleasure. You eat because it feels good. You eat so you don't feel pain. Because when the average person doesn't eat, they feel pain, which is starvation. So you're eating out of pleasure. It's a drug. So that's why you eat, so you don't feel pain, so you can be pleasured, so you can feel good in the body. That's why you're eating. You're not eating for all what these dumbass niggas tell you. You're eating for health. You're eating for that. Like, shut the fuck up. I seen a nigga, he was 70 years old smoking cigarettes. He was walking like he wasn't even in a wheelchair now. He's like 7 years old smoking a cigarette in front of the store the other day. But yet you see motherfuckers in their 40s get lung cancer. So obviously that has nothing to do with shit. I'm not saying that there's no such thing as health, but it gets deeper than that. This is why I say you need to be in alignment with your spirit and know what the fuck you got to do. So therefore, if you are in alignment, you can do certain things and get away with it because you're doing something for the spirit. If you're doing something for the spirit, like for example, if you're living in my house paying rent and I need somebody to help me pay rent and you're living in my house, if you're robbing people, I'm not going to give a fuck. So I'm not going to snitch you out. I'm not going to do anything. I don't care because you're helping me. But if you're living in my house, paying me money and you're robbing my mom or something, I'm going to obviously do something about it. So when it's benefiting me, so that's how the spirit works. When you're doing something for the spirit, you can the spirit will shield you and protect you from certain things. And eventually you won't even have to do those things no more. You see what I'm saying? Before you talk trash, you really should look in the mirror. The fingers whose trash is pointing to you. We got another troll. I'm not going to block this nigga. I'm going to let him talk. I actually like the troll comments. They're actually hilarious, to be honest. He's like, before you talk trash. So like him saying that is just gonna make me want to talk even more trash. So he's projecting. He's insecure. He feels that he can't say anything because if I say something, I need to be perfect. So I need to look good. I need to be perfect. I need to be rich before I talk shit. Because if I don't be rich, if I don't look good and I talk shit, then people are gonna judge me. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think about me, bitch. You can die in a train wreck for all I give a fuck. You should have died as a baby, as a matter of fact. Your mother should have gave you to the fucking man down the street to have him rape you and decapitate you. To be honest, like, you shouldn't even be in this comment section. But your mom unfortunately gave a fuck about you enough to not do that. So now it led to you being in my comment section giving your fucking opinion, which I don't give a fuck about. So now I'm gonna see, I just talked trash right there. I was just talking trash right there. So you telling me before you talk trash, I don't give a fuck. I just talked trash to you and your funky ass mother and how she didn't give you to the fucking rapist to kill you and do whatever he wanted to do to you. So fuck your mother for not doing that. Fuck you for leaving that comment. And I'm gonna talk some more trash on top of the trash I just talked to you, you bitch ass faggot. So kiss my ass. So society is gonna collapse. Women are trash. So this is probably this is probably somebody who is a bitch. He most likely it's a man, but he has bitch tendencies. So when I say women are trash, this is men who act like women as well, because they are women mentally. So men who act like women mentally, and women, we categorize them in the same box. They both bitches. One has a bitch mentality, another has a bitch mentality and a bitch ass and a bitch organ. So they got a pussy and a bitch mind, which is the actual female. And this nigga, he got a fucking probably got a small ass dick, and he has a bitch mind. So technically, he has a bitch organ because he got a small ass fucking dick. he's closer to having a pussy. So that's a bitch right there. That's why he got offended. Talk about look in the mirror. What do I gotta look in the mirror for? I look in the mirror, I see the most sexiest motherfucking thing in the world. I'm the most intelligent motherfucker. I think I look good, which what matters because I'm the one walking around in my body. So why would like I can give a fuck if you think how I look, especially you're a man. The fuck? Like I give a fuck what you think. You know, oh, women think you're ugly. Well, I'm a man, first of all, so my looks mean less than I would rather be an ugly man than an ugly bitch. Because first of all, if you're a man, your appearance and your status is more than just how you look. Even when it comes to women, like your intelligence, how much you can bring to the table matters more. So I give a fuck how I look really, because I know I'm intelligent as fuck and I like can bring shit to the table. So I'm not insecure like you. Yeah, projection. But that's how most people are in life. They just like to project their bullshit. Which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just when you're doing it to me, and that's what it's a problem. Like if you want to project to other people or just project whatever, like that has nothing to do with me. I don't give a fuck. Like that's the thing. I only care about my inner circle and what's coming into my energetic field. Like this is why you have so many people out here. They talk about stupid shit that's not even important. Like what's going on in politics and the war and inflation, like shit that doesn't really mean anything to you. They like to talk about dumb shit. And this is why everybody's so miserable because they can't mind their fucking business and worry about what's important to them. So all this shit that they think is important, it becomes important to them and then they develop mental illness. Because that's really what mental illness is when you're not being yourself. So you're not being yourself, which leads to a chaotic mind. And then we call that mental illness. Somebody who's schizophrenia, they think somebody's chasing them. Nobody's chasing them. They're not being themselves. So they have mental illness. And that's a severe cause of it. Somebody who's depressed, they're sad. Nobody told you to be sad. Do you want to be sad? No, you don't want to be sad. That's why you take medication and you drink drugs. So you're not being yourself. Your true self wants to be happy. Even if you're depressed, the depression is supposed to be a lesson to teach you how to get out of that. So you may be depressed because somebody betrayed you, but you need to go through that so you don't get betrayed again. So you're supposed to learn from the depression to get out of it. So it's always supposed to lead you back to being the happiest, greatest version of yourself. This is why I say there should anybody that talks about we have ups and downs in life is don't get me wrong, we have ups and downs, but I something bad can happen to me, but if I'm internally strong enough and I've been doing the work internally, it doesn't have to affect me like it affects the next person. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that shit. There's no such thing as an up and down. There should just be a little speed bump. You see, a speed bump goes up and down, but it's a little boom. A roller coaster is up, down. People say, life is a roller coaster. No, bitch, life is supposed to be a speed bump, you stupid motherfucker. A speed bump, boom, it's a little bump, and then you keep on going. A roller coaster is up, down. That's not how life is. Anybody that says life is a roller coaster is they're either not in alignment with self, or they're very weak spiritually. So they can be in alignment with themselves, but they're very weak. So they get get stressed out over certain things. And don't get me wrong, I was at that point where I was getting really stressed out. But from when I was doing yoga and I fasted and I did qigong and a whole bunch of energy practices to build my energy, then I didn't give a fuck about shit no more. But you have to like train the body energetically to get to that point. And not everybody can do that. Like it just depends. Like I have a North Node in Capricorn, so the spirit, it actually wants me to do that. So if I do what's necessary, its spirit's gonna make me not give a fuck about shit because I have a North Node in Capricorn. Capricorn is known for not having no emotion, not giving a fuck. So I'm kind of projecting because not everybody is meant for this. Some people, they need to go through certain experiences. So like I said, my channel is not for everybody. I don't give a fuck about making it so everybody can understand my channel. Like I don't care. Yeah. And plus, like 99% of people watching this video, they're not even gonna really get this information. And even me talking, I'm not trying to help you people. The reason I'm talking and making this video is the same way I'm gonna go turn on my PS5 and play the game. I'm just having fun. So that's the same reason I do these fucking videos. I don't do these videos for any fucking other reason. Financial shit, I have other things that I do off camera for my finances. This is more like a video game when I come on live and talk and run my fucking mouth. I just feel like talking shit and running my mouth on this bitch. That's the only reason I ever go on live. And if I ever were to go on live and it will be about something, like my face wouldn't be on it because I don't put my face on my businesses. Anything I do in real life, when it comes to the system and business, not to say like other, because certain things, like for example, if I'm trying to actually do something that's not correlated to the system, then the face doesn't matter. But when it's like business in real life, my face is not on my business. So I don't talk about nothing I do in real life. I don't show you shit, nothing I do in my real life, because it has nothing in my real life. Not because I'm secretive and I don't want you to know. That's a small reason, but the 98% is because it doesn't matter. Like, why would I go to Victoria's Secret and buy some underwear if I don't wear them? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. So why the fuck would I show my real life on YouTube? It's not, I'm secretive. It's just, it doesn't matter. That's not going to bring me anything, because everything in your life is supposed to be, what can this get me? If I go and talk to this person, what can that person tell me? What can I tell this person that can help me? And what can he tell me that can help me or him? Or what can I'm trying, when I wake up in the morning, I'm trying to get to point B, whatever point B is. Some people it's money, some people it's health, some people is trying to get out of an addiction, some people is to get a there's always a point B we're trying to get to make ourselves be able to experience this existence in a more pleasurable way. That's point B. What are you doing each moment, each minute, each second to get to point B? If you can't answer that, then whatever you're doing is a waste of time. Not to say you can't have fun or whatever, but have fun and know that that's for fun. You see what I'm saying? Oh, somebody's in the...
Oh,
Shout out to Mysterio. What's good with it, my nigga? Long time no see.
yeah, what's good? What's good? And then, damn, I've been practicing this shit. And my skin been glowing and shit.
Yeah. Oh, it is? That's
Yeah,
what's up. That's
yeah.
what's up, man.
You can't really see it, but like, damn, my skin more smooth.
Yeah,
But
it's this cheap ass StreamYard platform. They got fucking Walmart cameras.
but I just wanted to add on the topic because like this is so weird because I went on a date.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
So,
something I can't really do. Like, not I want to say I would never go on a date again, but it just yeah, like
so
whatever you're about to explain is probably the reason why I wouldn't go on a date.
so like okay, I went Uber. We went and talked about she said like come hang with me. I said, okay, I'll think about it. We're gonna hang out at this time. So what I did was I went way all over there. It was like a $50 Uber almost.
Yeah.
So like, we was
I was
chilling and shit.
already right off the bat, bitch wasting money already. Bitch is wasting money, wasting people's time and money already.
Bro. So I went over there. She told me like, yeah, I ain't got no money, so you gonna pay? I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll fuck with you, so I'm gonna pay. And they we're vibing, we're chilling on the date, and then this bitch like he makes like some smart remarks like saying some shit like I know she just okay, at this point I know she playing, but
Yeah.
it was like I was just peeping, I was like, okay, like she's like saying like, oh, looking at me and shit. I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? Are you playing around and shit? And then don't do public affairs, this display of affection. What are you doing?
Yeah, like she's playing. Like I know what you mean. Like first thing, like not to cut you off, but like don't beat yourself up too much because first of all you young, so it's okay to make these type of mistakes right now. It's normal. But like
Hmm.
me, if I was gonna put like me, I'm at an age right now where I have no tolerance for bullshit at this point. Like I don't have time to waste. I have no tolerance. Of, like what I would do in my position, I'm not gonna suggest you should do, but because I'm in a different position. But me, I would have just been like straight up say like, is there a problem? Is there an issue? Like that's what I do every time when I'm around an individual and I feel some type of resentment, even if it's around like I'm around another male, and I feel like they acting like I'm like I'm bugging them. I'm like, is there an issue? Is there a problem? And then I cut it off. Or if it's a female, and I'd be like, is there a problem? Is there an issue? What's the problem? And you just let it know that you feel. Say, I feel kind of uncomfortable with what you're doing, and is there an issue? Should we like, and then let it be known. I like that's what I would suggest you do. Communicate how you're
Hmm.
feeling. If you feel weird, don't let it sit in. Communicate it and let it be known. If the person responds negatively, then that's good because you cut to the chase. If they respond positively, that's good too, but you still need to be on alert because they could just be full of shit. So yeah, go ahead. You can
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Then like I ain't gonna lie, she let me drive in her car. She didn't let me drive, but she let me ride around in her car because she had a Tesla. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she most
So
likely has mental. Anybody driving an electric car has a mental illness.
I was like, damn. So she told me she was in college, she was gonna be a nurse. I was like, I already know she already mentally ill. Like, I
Yeah,
just know from experiences, anybody who's in college and that want to be a nurse,
and
they're
driving a
just
Tesla.
and driving a Tesla. Like those people are not people to be like fucking
Yeah,
with like at all. Like that, those
yeah,
are like the worst people you could
yeah.
come across.
College, dude. I don't want to keep cutting you. I'll let you go, but I just want to say,
Yeah.
people in college, like one thing I've noticed and that I've recently like noticed is it doesn't matter male, female, poor, young. If when somebody goes to college, they have a certain level of ignorance. I've seen people that were homeless who went to college, people that are rich who went to college. They still have a certain way of thinking because college it trains the brain. Because I don't it not it's not that college trains the brain.
Hmm.
It's for you to even be a type of person to make the cut to go to college, pass the SAT, get accepted, to even go and to do the daily grind of going to college. It takes a certain level of mental illness. So it's not that the people say, "Oh, school programs you, college programs you." That's probably like 40%. The other
Hmm.
60% is the person is already have a mental illness because for you to even make the cut to get into college, pass the SAT, to go to class, and to make it all 4 years, you have to be a certain type of person.
Right,
So
right, right.
yeah, you it's just like the military. You can't say, oh, the military programs people. No, you have to be a certain type of person to be in the military to even want to go in for them to accept you. This is why they have the
See,
test. So
see, this,
yeah.
yeah, this is why my spirit is smart because like the stuff I was trying to go for, I could just go get a certificate at some like little school thing that's not a college and still be in the same position as people in college. So
Hmm.
it's like I see what you're saying. Like you already have to be a type of person to even be all through that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but like I was saying, she was a nurse, and then we get in a car. She was talking. She was like being playful and shit. I was like, oh, okay, okay. But for some reason, it was like she was doing some hot and cold shit. She was like she was like all into me and then pulling back, all into me and then pulling back, and then I was
Yeah.
like, okay, why are you doing this? I already fuck with you. The fact that I even came out here, paid for your date and shit, and you doing all this. And then we started talking about anime and stuff. That was lit.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we skip fast forward all the way at the end of the date and shit. I'm sitting in my car and she said, oh, okay, what's your love language? So I rolled with it, right? And she said, oh yeah, to be honest, like, really like you like that. Just want to be friends and shit. Why'd you make me come all the way out here? I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about?
See, what you gotta understand, Mister. Women are full of shit like that. Like you gotta
Yeah,
understand. Um,
yeah,
what's going on is it wasn't that, oh, I just want to be. She just wasn't into you. That's what it is. Because if it was
yeah.
somebody she was into, then it would have went a different way. Even with the public displays of affection, she would have, if she was really in you, she would have been like, would even she would have been like, I don't even care. I'm gonna show my public display because I really are into this person. So this is why I say you have to not don't waste time. So if I
Don't waste
like,
time.
yeah, if I was you and I would like, I'm not saying for you to do this, like live, have your own experiences, do whatever because you learn from them. But like me personally, if I was in that, I would have like just walked up and left.
But
Like I
yeah, I
would have.
did. I did walk up and left.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
did I did walk up and left, but like now I learned just to like not waste time anymore. Like just don't
yeah,
waste my time. Like I'm gonna just say it straight, tell her straight up, like, hey, are you down? You not? We fucking or not?
yeah. Like straight up and like just. And to be honest, if it was somebody that was on your frequency, that was meant for you, you wouldn't even have to say that. It would have just been good. Like you have to know how to read cues. Like
He was right.
I would have just been out of that motherfucker and been like, just not even been disrespectful. Like I gotta go. Like this is a waste of my time. Like because it had nothing to do. Oh, I don't. Anytime a female wants to explain, oh, public display of affection or um, oh, I don't really do. That's bullshit. That's not what it is. Hold on for a minute.
It was funny because it was like she asked me to come hang out. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, you gotta get out. God, like,
Yeah, what were you saying?
yeah, it was funny because like she asked me to come hang out, so I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But
So if I was you, I wouldn't waste my time. Like this is why I don't even like really like. You gotta understand, like most of these females out here are they have mental illness. Like most of these women out here, they have mental illness. This is what I was talking about. Women have mental
mhm,
illness. It has nothing really to do with you. It
mhm,
has more so to do with her. Like she has an issue. She has
Mm-hmm.
problems that have nothing to do with you. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're dating her, you're not talking just to her. You're talking to her trauma. You're talking to her ignorance. You're talking to her binge watching all of the bullshit on social media. So a lot of this is why I say social media is extremely toxic and is very damaging. And this is why other countries are making it illegal for kids under 16 to have social media, because this shit fucking rots your fucking brain. Because you'll have people literally watch this shit and consume this shit and then go out into the real world and start looking at the real world based upon what they seen on this fucking screen. So when you're talking to this bitch, a whole bunch of thoughts is going through her head, have nothing to do with you, and then she'll make a perception and it'll be a problem. And it's like, if you have that type of mental illness, she should have just let you know, I don't feel like going out. Why would she sit here and play these games? I don't feel like doing this. And then doing, like you said, she was pulling back, and that means she's not fucking, she's not assured of herself. So it's like, why are you even dating and wasting people's time? It makes no sense. These are the type of bitches who, because for example, if she doesn't heal and she were to find a man that she thinks she's interested in, that'd be the man who probably beats the shit out of her. This is why people say, why do women choose men who beat the shit out of them? It's because you can't escape your demons. So if you're a piece of shit female and you find a man that treats you good but you don't like him, oh, he's not my type. Then if you don't deal with your trauma as a bitch, then you find a man you do like and you say, I'm gonna give him a chance because I like him. He's gonna be the one to beat your ass. He's gonna be the one to cheat, because you can't run away from yourself. You can't cheat the universe. If you don't heal and deal what's wrong with you, you're gonna attract that in the external world, because you don't deserve that. Just like people who care about capitalism, if you don't have $5, you can't go get something from the store because you don't have the money. Spiritually, is the same way. If you don't have the internal finances and money, and you go out, you're not gonna get the whatever the fuck that you want. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always gonna play out as a problem. This is why you always see
Mm-hmm.
people like, why is there always a problem? It's one thing after. Have you ever heard those people? They always feel like, oh, it's one thing after another.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I get something, it's something negative. It's because you're not healed, you fucking retard. That's not no coincidence. That's purpose, because you don't have control. You don't have 100% control in this reality. Your life doesn't 100% belong to you.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
belongs to you is your spirit. Your spirit
Mm-hmm.
creates a mind, and then the mind creates the body. So therefore, that shit really isn't you. You're in something else's domain. So you don't have 100% free will. So you're not you only can do what you're supposed to do. This is why I always tell you guys, be in alignment with self, and that's the only important thing. Fuck everything else. Fuck all this others. Just be in alignment with self, and in relationships, everything that you want, that shit will come with it. Because once you start trying to do shit like you're in control of free will, that's when you'll end up running into situations where, oh, I'm being gang stalked. Why all of a sudden this happens at this time? Why is this one thing after another? I just
Think it's
accomplished.
people's spirit trying to tell them something. Bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, it's that, but it's just they're too fucking retarded to not be in alignment with self. Because like, you are the spirit, so you can't really tell yourself something like, already. That's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
because you are the spirit. So it's like, So it's like they're just too retarded. That's all it really is. And then eventually, once you get like spiritually whipped enough, then you'll realize, because it's like the spirit
Mm-hmm.
is you. So it ain't like anything is telling. It's like we already know this. No one's as dumb as they try to act like. Like, even though there's bots and there's stupid people are stupid, but nobody's that stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
that stupid. Like a baby is stupid, but a baby still knows to go to the mother's nipple. But a baby doesn't know how to do math and other shit that are understand certain, even other shit like that. Who the fuck we just say we don't know, because this shit is deep. But
Right, right, right. So after that moment, I just walked out the car. Like,
yeah, you
I just walked
just
up.
ghosted her.
Yeah, I just walked out the car. I blocked her. I blocked her on Snapchat. I
Yeah,
blocked her on my iMessage. I was like, bro, I'm not doing this shit no more. Like, and I realized, like,
yeah,
like I'm not dealing with like somebody who's like not even sure of themselves, and they were like playing around, like too, like.
yeah. That's most people nowadays. When you deal with people. This is why when you put yourself in a position, like especially like you're trying to heal and you're trying to you did the qigong, you're healing. Just by you doing that, you should already be wary about who you put yourself around because, like, even when you start getting so-called blessings, that's when you need to be very, very careful who you put yourself around because if the spirit blesses you with, like, let's just say something very fortunate. I don't want to just say money because money's not the only thing, but something fortunate. If you put yourself around people who don't deserve it, then the spirit will take that shit away from you. So
Mm,
that's why, like, you focus on healing and trying to get better. You've made changes with the qigong. So right off the bat, you should be careful what type of bitches you're around because the shit like that would bring your energy. You see how they did to the young pharaoh. This nigga
mm,
was doing his thing, had his YouTube. He met some regular stanky ass fucking Wendy's working ass bitch off the street. He had a kid with her. She tried to get caught off him, damaged his name. The bitch still ain't doing shit in her life. Has his kids, can't even see. So now he went from here all the way down to here because he was fucking with somebody who was down here. This is what you don't.
mm,
It's not even just money, class, and finances. Spiritually, when you're spiritually up here, you don't want to fuck with people that are down here spiritually because they're gonna fuck you up. So it's
mm.
like you don't even want to be with her. So imagine if you had a kid with this bitch. How many now you're gonna be have to force to deal with her for the rest of your life, and then it's like and even then, you don't even have to deal with her the rest of your life. But most of the time, it's gonna be a problem because they're gonna get you through child support and all this other shit. And then when the kid gets older, like it's gonna be problems. So if you were to have a kid with this bitch, her trauma and emotions you're gonna have to deal with because her being traumatized, she may just say you're not gonna go see your kids anymore, and then take your kids away. But at
And
least you don't have kids with her. If she wants to pull some trauma on you, you'd be like, bitch, take that shit somewhere else, and you don't have to
and
entertain it.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. People who are in the suburbs that go to college, they just give me weak spirit vibes, low hanging fruit
Yeah,
spirit vibes. Like,
yeah.
and I'm not saying if you went to college in the suburbs that you're a weak spirit, but I'm just saying those type of people just give me weak spirit vibes. Cause like when I be around them, it's like I
Mm-hmm.
understand you sheltered and stuff like that, but god damn, is it to the point where like y'all get depressed and y'all like make that rule your life?
Yeah.
Like,
Was you
yeah,
always talking? Was you always talking about school and shit, or like
um,
her career and stuff like that? That's one thing I don't like when I hear when a female talks too much about career and money and all that shit. Like that's another red flag. Any
he
female
talked
that's always
about he talked about her career and like being a nurse. I was like, all right,
yeah.
cool. I was like, all right, cool. I told her like do content creation, spiritual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't talk about it too much, but like she said, yeah, I'm about my career. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't like any right. That's another red flag. Any female that talks about her career too much or focuses her life around work and career, that's another red flag. Because I'm looking at it like, okay, but you talk about your career and work so much. So like, as a female, that's I'm not saying females shouldn't be into that because, but like a real feminine energy, they're supposed to be able to manifest stability while not focusing so much on that type of shit because a female is the earth is feminine. Earth is
Yeah,
stability. So a
yeah,
female should naturally be able to have that being feminine, whether that she attracts it in a relationship or whatever. But when a female has to go and talk about career and work, that's like a trauma and they're trying to like be masculine to cover up something that's damaged inside them because like they want like
yeah.
a lot of women in this society, they want to be men. Like I told this female like you act masculine and she looked at it like a compliment. And I'm like, at the end of the day, that's really not a compliment. And the women, they want to act masculine, but they really don't. Because at the same time, they'll sit there and try to act masculine, but if a man starts whipping her ass, they're gonna cry, oh, I'm gonna arrest you, or they're gonna go ask for help. But if another dude we were fighting and we start crying, they're gonna look like, why don't you fight? That's your fight. But when it's a female, they act in masculine. It's just like the transsexual. They want to sit here and talk about, oh, I want to be a female. But yet, if a man slaps him upside the head, he's going to use his masculine strength to defend himself. You can't say you want to be a female and then use your masculine strength to defend yourself. It don't make no fucking sense. That means you still want to be a man subconsciously.
Right. And it's funny because like, bro, this bitch had the nerve during the date. He told me I was a walking red flag. I was like, that was the part where I just got up and walked out the car.
For real?
Yeah,
She
that was.
said you're a walking red flag. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I was like, okay, I'm a red flag. Are you calling me a player? And then you know what I'm saying. A few moments
Damn.
after, I went call my Uber to go home. That Uber situation was flunked out. Oh my God. Bro, that whole day was like, what the fuck? You know what? I'm not gonna do that shit again.
Yeah, that's why I don't. That's why I'm saying like I don't even waste my time with that stuff nowadays. And
And you know,
is nothing wrong with the concept of dating, but it's the times that we're in right now. Like
yeah,
I don't even want to bring up astrology into it. It has nothing really just to do with that. It's just the times we're in. There's a lot of mental illness going around. Remember, I talked about mental illness on this page, and that's the number one plague is mental illness. That's the number one issue. All the other issues in life stem from that. So once you realize how mentally ill the average person is, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. That's why you can't deal with these females out here like that. I'm not saying there's no good females out here. I'm not saying that, but when you're especially you're in America and
mhm.
we have everyone's on the internet, everybody's on their phone. Most people on their phone, they're watching bullshit. That's contributing to a lot of the social media, a lot of the mental illness. Hold on.
Bro. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say like the one type of girl I try to stay away from that's also in that mentally ill category is somebody who's too
Sorry.
deeply invested into that politics stuff.
Hey, can you repeat that?
Said people who are too deeply invested into that politics stuff, like for example, if somebody calls themselves a liberal and they got pink hair.
For real, and it's funny because like you'll see, especially like a lot of white people. I don't want to bring race into it because I'm not racist at all towards anybody. I have we people that are white that are watch the channel that I'm cool with. Black, it has nothing to do with race, but I know a lot of white people. They'll talk about how uh like shit stuff about politics. How to be a white male nowadays, they want to shame you for it, and everything is democratic and I'm like, motherfucker, like you're a part of the problem. Like you're a part of the issue. It's not like, oh, it's the Democrats and they're trying to stop shit, or it's the Republicans. It's like for the people who talk about shit like that in that type of way, you're part of it. Like you're not like you're any different than it. Cause it's like they'll talk about like, oh, shit is woke, and like you said about like females with pink hair and shit. But I've seen bitches who are ratchet ghetto, don't have that are just retarded. And it's like there's different levels of mental illness. It has nothing to do with just like what people think it is. That's one way of it. Like everyone's mentally ill in some way, shape, or form. That's the thing nobody understands. Like people talk about, well, I'm an individual. No one's an individual. Like you look at the world. Everybody who makes content talks about the same fucking shit. But yet they'll cry and complain like, why am I shadow banned, or why am I not getting the views, or it's like everyone's just useless at this point. Like you got a whole generation of people, bro. You got like Gen Z, right?
Mhm.
They will complain that they're not getting views and they want to get paid off YouTube, but then their whole content is gaming. Like, who the fuck is gonna pay you just to sit on your ass and game? And don't get me wrong, they do have people getting paid to do it, but at the same time, there's people who make millions off the lottery. But you don't sit here living your whole life thinking I'm gonna win the lottery. No, you just know that that's just some people, and that you don't even think about it unless you see a story about it. But for some reason, people don't they don't even think like. Imagine if every fucking person who wants to go viral and be rich off TikTok made it. This fucking this country will be doomed because nobody will be producing shit. Nobody will be there'll be no such thing as creativity. Nobody's producing nothing. So all the money you make from TikTok, what the fuck are you gonna buy? If nobody's creating no new thing, nobody's knows how to build their own house. Like it doesn't make sense. It's retarded. So like at the end of the day, this is why you have like a lot of mental illness, depression, and then people thinking life is supposed to be one way and it isn't. And I blame the government, I blame the system, because they're the main reasons why there's this mental illness. It's the government and the system. This whole shit is set up retarded, and that's the reason like why there's so much crime, there's so much ignorance and mental illness is because the government and the system. And
Right,
they
right.
create it, and they create these problems. And then when you have the symptom, they don't even tackle the problem. They just tackle the symptom. So now you have people out here who commit crimes, who rob, steal, and they have the dude who burned down the warehouse, and then you have the fucking you have the stupid motherfucking, oh, we're gonna lock him up and we're gonna do this, and we're trying to like they're talking about everything but the reason why he did it. It's like,
Mhm.
imagine if I slapped you in the face, or imagine if I went into your house, robbed you, and slapped you in the face, and instead of talking about why I did that stupid shit, everybody's talking how you should have had your door locked, or you should have upset me to have me come down. Like they're not talking about the issue. Like everyone's talking about how he burned down the place and how, oh, it's not right, but like nobody's talking about why he did it, or the corruption and the just the unfairness that goes on in the system. Motherfuckers, there's people who die in these warehouses and get sick, and they fire these people. There's people who went to go see their fucking family member who had cancer or some shit, and they took a day off and they get fired at these warehouses. And then you
These
complain
warehouses,
about,
bro,
yeah,
these warehouses is like, I don't want to say slavery because everybody gets to do what they want to do, but like that's like one of the first forms of
no,
physical slavery.
everyone doesn't get to do what they want to do. At the end of the day,
Oh
that's
yeah.
bullshit. It is slavery because, and not to disrespect you, now, but it that's the saying. They say, "Oh, well, you don't have to work there." Like, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Like, at the end of the day, if people don't work, they get put on the street. It's just like it's like if I take a gun and I go to a female and I say, um, "Give me all your fucking money, or I'm gonna kill you," and then she doesn't give me the money and I kill her. Well, she could have just gave me her money if she wanted to live. That doesn't sound stupid. Like how people are gonna be homeless on the fucking street. People gotta go and they got kids that were gonna get starved and get taken by CPS if they don't feed their kids. So how in the fuck are you gonna say, not you, but how are people gonna say, oh, they have a free will not to work there? You can't really pull that shit at the end of the day. They actually have crimes, um, witness intimidation, where you scare a witness to not give information. So, but can't they just say that? Well, the witness has free will, so that shouldn't be a crime because the witness doesn't have to be scared. So they should even make witness intimidation a crime.
Mhm.
But you
Right.
see what I'm saying? Like there, at the end of the day, there is a certain. This is why I tell you, free will doesn't exist and it exists. All that shit that they want to tell you, oh, you're 100% free. That shit really ain't. Because even on an esoteric spiritual level, you don't own your life. You don't own this life like you think you do. You, in a way, you do. You have the opportunity to become better, but there's certain things you don't do. If you're not in alignment, certain consequences are gonna happen to you. You can't say I'm gonna do what I want and still live a life that I want to live. If you keep doing drugs, you're gonna get sick. You can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna just keep doing drugs and my body's good." No, the body was designed to, with physics and shit. This is what physics is. I can't jump off a building and fly. So I can't do what I want. There's certain things in place that I can't break that parameter and that barrier. And if I do, that the reality is gonna show me you're wrong. You that don't do that. You can't do that. You don't have that much free power. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have 100% free will, and that's a big example I gave you. But there's smaller levels of it which show you every day.
Right, right, right. I said liberated.
Mm-hmm.
Liberation. We have more liberation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to get lost in the words. All I'm just saying is like
Yeah.
you could do what you want to do, but like don't go too far into anything. Like that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, but I just had to tell this whole story because it was like it was one thing of I'm just exiting a phase of my life where it's
Yeah.
like, you
Like it's
know,
funny because when you tell me this
mhm,
story, like I would never be in a position like that because I have so like my intuition's so on point. There's certain body language and because and even the way you look, like it doesn't even matter about race or gender. People have a certain type of look because when you're a piece of shit, you have a certain look, and this goes
mm,
beyond gender and race. So it could be a black female has a certain look and it looks like a white male. That's how good I can read the energy. Like it goes beyond race and gender. So when you have a piece of shit vibe, I can read that vibe and energy, and I know okay, I'm not fucking with that. So I save myself a lot of headache because I can read the vibe well in advance. That's what you have to learn how to do, and you part of it you learn it through experience because I've seen a lot of people in life, and like I'm always every time I meet somebody, I'm always observing demeanors when they're in a happy mood, when they're depressed, angry, how they look, what type of food they eat, and what type of music they listen to, what type of clothes, every single thing, like even how they eat their food, like everything has energy. So I look at it and I see patterns and similarities, and it makes me okay. This person's I can say okay, this person's a piece of shit because he likes to play this video game and he likes to eat this type of food. So based upon my compatibility, I know I'm not cool with this person just off what they eat and with the type of movies and games they like. Even a person who likes Star Wars and they're like, if they're so addicted to, oh, I'm into Star Wars and all that, I could tell like, oh, this is the type of person that is. I could tell the type of person they are like already that you are even addicted to that type of stupid shit, or like you watch this type of show, you eat this type of food, you talk this
mm,
type of way, even the like everything.
right, 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 right.
And I'm
Damn,
yeah, go ahead.
damn, because like that's what I've been ever since I've been doing like this little qigong yoga. It's like my intuition been on
Mm-hmm.
point. Like I know this was like a little fuck up because I didn't see the girl in real life, but I knew the vibe was off.
Dude, you
So I
you
just,
didn't you didn't see her in real life before you met?
yeah, I didn't see her in real life.
Yeah, that probably has something to do with it as well. But like
Hmm.
I said, like this is why I don't even like doing online dating. Like I feel like the like all the real life dating, like every time I've dated, it's always been in person. There's only been like two
Hmm.
times I dated on the internet. And that was back in 2014, 2013. And that was on like some one dating site. And that was the last
Hmm.
time I did it. I always
Hmm.
deal with it in real life because the energy is better. It's more better. And then when you're online, it's more like you don't know if you're dealing you could I could tell if you're dealing with a piece of shit, but
Hmm.
it's just different. The energy is not fully there. So mentally they can lie about shit because you could say something on the internet and I won't be able to fully pick up. But when I'm there and you say it, I could look at how you move your hand. I could look at how your eyes are, even like the way you move your fingers. Like if you wipe, like this one person, like they wipe their face a certain way, and when every time they wipe their mouth, I could tell they have trauma because trauma gets stored in the body. So when you get raped or abused, that's stored in the body. So when they move their hand, when a certain trauma is stored in the body, you're not as fluid because you're more rigid because you got that trauma. So when you move a certain way, I can tell somebody who has a lot of trauma because they move more stiff and they have certain movements. So I can't pick up on that shit on the internet. In real life, I could be like, okay, this person has trauma. I don't want to deal with that shit because they're gonna project that shit onto me. I may do something that may upset them. Like there'll be little things. This is why a lot of people you'll be saying, why did this person switch up on me? You don't know who you're dealing with. There's people out here where if you eat a certain way or you make a certain noise or you blow your nose or you put your hand a certain way, that can remind them of some type of trauma and they may not know. So when you do it, it gets them upset, and then now that they switch up on you, and you're like, "What did I do?" It's like this bitch ass nigga didn't heal, but you did something to trigger that, and it may be something they're not even aware of. And then it's like they get under like, why did this is because this is why you can't deal with mental illness. You have to don't even try to understand it and try to cater to it. Just once you see certain signs, say, I'm not dealing with this motherfucker. If you can't provide something to me, then we can just part ways. That's just how I look at it and how I see it.
Right. Damn. Okay. That's funny. That's funny. You said women are mentally ill, and I came with a story, and it lined up perfectly what you was saying.
I
Like
said what?
the caption lined up perfectly what I just went
Oh,
through.
oh yeah. And the society's collapse. It is like women are. When I say women are trash, I'm not saying all women. Obviously, all
Mm,
women ain't trash. Just like you're not attracted to all women. You don't like every food. You don't like every pair of shoes you see. Um, every video you watch on YouTube, you don't like. There's never 100% in anything. So
mm,
for me to say women are trash and for an average troll to be like, oh, you think women are, why would I think all women? Obviously, I have female family members. Obviously, I've never met every bitch in the world. So why would I say all women? That doesn't make sense. And just because I say that, people will think that, oh, I don't think men are trash. No, niggas is bitches too, but this video isn't about it. I've had fights with people that are men. So I've actually had physical fights with niggas. So for me to think, oh, men, like I've had, it has nothing to do with, oh, I'm sexist or I'm just telling you what it is. Most women are mentally ill, and the reason I'm saying most women because that is a thing. Because a lot of men, like you just went on a date, you had an experience with women, so I'm just trying to clarify why there's issues like that. Not to say we men don't have issues and problems we got to work on, because in a way we do. Because in a way, for you to even attract a stupid bitch, for not to say you're like having issues or nothing, because we all go through this. But
mm,
because sometimes it's not even about your energy. Sometimes you could be on a real high energy, and then you still attract some bullshit ass bitch in your life because they're trying to drain you. So it's not even about that all the time. But at the same time, it's like I'm just talking about it. Like you said, you had the story, so I want to speak on this type of topic because it's a thing that people go through.
mm.
A lot of people go through. Like, why are this shit happening? A lot of women have mental illness, and people in general have mental illness as a whole. Not just women, it's people in general, but women. Women, it's a little. It affects. I feel like it
Them a little
affects a lot
more.
more because when a gender is fucked up, when a large percentage of a gender is fucked up, it kind of affects the way the world is because women and men are supposed to not be so at odds with each other. A lot of the reason they're at odds is because of the system has created certain programs to make it and it's like it's programs physically social programs and mental programs to make women and men at odds. It's not like women are genuinely pieces of shit. You don't see a female grasshopper and a male grasshopper having gender wars. Like that doesn't make sense. So why would a female man and a female and a man have gender wars? That's because it's something synthetic. It's something fake. It's not real. So the
Mm,
government, through social engineering, mental programming, they create shit. And then you have the food. A lot of the food it creates anxiety, mental illness, and hormonal imbalance. Which a lot of the food and the technology it creates that hormonal imbalance, which also causes mental illness in the female and the man. So it's like a
boy,
lot of shit.
good thing I did. Um, I did this one Qigong where it was like the lower Johnson Qigong, boy. And I'm not gonna lie, like that shit bounced the fuck out of my hormones. Like, um, when people was going up to me, they said, "Yeah, you look real masculine and manly, and like you have a vibe like don't fuck with me." I'm like, "Oh damn." So this is
Yeah,
what so this is what it's like to really be in a natural manly state. Like,
yeah, because when you do qigong, you're balancing the feminine and masculine at home. So even your feminine energy, it's healthy too. Because everybody has feminine and masculine has nothing to do with male or female.
mm,
Feminine energy, masculine energy is just what it is. The female, it just has more feminine energy in it. But if you just took the feminine energy by itself and the masculine energy, it has nothing to do with just the man or the female.
mm,
It has nothing to do with it's like because if that was the case, then only females wouldn't have masculine energy, and males
mm,
wouldn't have feminine energy. So
mm,
a female and a male, they're a conjoining of masculine and feminine energy. It's just one gender has more of the other, but the feminine energy itself, without the masculine, has really nothing to do with females or that. It's just an energy in a certain way. Like they'll tell you, like the moon is more feminine, the sun is
mm,
masculine. But when you look at
mm,
when you look at the moon, you don't see a female. You don't. You see what I'm saying? But it's still there.
mm,
Emotions is feminine. When you look at an
Hmm.
emotion, everyone has an emotion. You don't think like emotion, and you don't see a female, you don't get horny off an emotion, unless you want to say. Even when you look at horniness and shit, it's like it's an emotional thing. I don't want to get too much into that, but you know what I'm
No,
saying.
I
Like,
know, I get what you're saying. Like
yeah.
it's just been personal experience. Like um,
Mm-hmm.
when I was at Six Flags and I was just looking at like uh, I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of people
Yeah.
having problems from damaged relations with their parents. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's some real stuff for a crew. That's what I noticed.
Yeah.
Um, or Damien, look, for a crew. But um,
I'll get into that more. But what were you saying?
but like what I noticed is that when I was doing like the little spiritual energy work, right? I noticed a lot of girls were staring at me, but like people were intimidated by me. Like, um, this is just from my personal experience because I've been doing a lot of energy work on like all my areas of life for the Qigong, the lower Dantian, the middle, and the upper. Um, and I just noticed like people were like, oh, yes, sir. Please do it, sir. Oh, okay, here you go, sir. They were calling me sir more. They were
Yeah.
respecting me more. They were
But
like, oh, don't. Hmm?
I know what you mean. But when you say it's because you were doing the energy work, look at it deeper.
Hmm.
How were you feeling? Because when you do the energy work, it makes you think and feel differently, right?
Hmm.
So that's why they were responding that way. Not per se the energy work, but
Energy.
how you were that is in play, but because how you emotionally feel and how you mentally feel, that's what matters. The energy work is to get just in a emotionally and mentally sound space, mentally,
Hmm.
spiritually, and mentally and emotionally get us
Hmm.
into a sound space. And when you're in that sound space, then that's what attracts that response. It's how you feel mentally and emotionally. This is why
Hmm.
if you can control your mind and your emotions, you can really like. That's why you're able to see like a little small midget in the prison, and he can run the whole prison. You see instances. That's because that's because he has his emotions and his mind on point, where people like they see that first because every spirit sees that shit first than before
Hmm.
anything else. So that's
Hmm.
really what it is.
Hmm. Hmm. Right, 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 right,
So
right. Yeah, right.
it was your mind. The key gong. I'm not saying the key gong didn't help, but the key gong made you feel. Because if you did the key gong and you just doing the movements, and you didn't feel any different, than wouldn't have been. It's because you felt emotionally and mentally, and it was through the practices. So
Hmm.
therefore, then that's what really. Because I noticed like when I come off a long fast, or when I'm on a long fast, like when I was on my 30 some day fast back in February, or throughout the month of February. I remember like it was just weird, like like somebody just came up was like, "Oh, I like your jacket," and they were trying to talk to me, and I was like, "I gotta go," and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like it was weird. That never happened to me. It happened to me like a few times. Like people just come up to me and just want to
Hmm.
conversate, and I have to say I have to go, and like it was weird. And then I noticed like stuff like that, or I will find certain stuff, or not even just find like sometimes I find money, or there'll be an opportunity that presents itself for me to be able to do something like that I wanted to do. It's just weird stuff will be happening, and like that's another sign because you got your mind and your emotion right. That's really what you want to get. And even when you not that, and then people say, oh, like negative things happen. Even when negative things happen and people talk shit and troll you, it's a different type of negative. So this when you're on when you're in that alignment with self, when bad things happen, they're a different type of bad thing. They're not the same type of bad thing when you're in a low vibration. Because when you're in a low vibration, bad things happen. It's more different. I can't explain it, but I can explain. But it's like I'll explain to you now. It's more. Let's just say, look at it. It's like it's more so like um, it's a certain level of negative things where it's just different. But then when you're in a high vibration, it'll be some negative. But then the person who's attacking you, they will talk shit to you differently then they work. It's like they feel threatened by you more so when it's low. They feel not as threatened and they want to just start trouble. Versus when you're in a high vibration, they know that they know spiritually they can't really deal with you, but then they still like it's just different. So like not to say you won't get the disrespect, but it's gonna come at you differently, and that's how you can know you're vibing high because you're always gonna get that yin and yang or that good and that bad, regardless.
Bro, bro, that's what I've been experiencing. It's like, bro, I don't know how to explain it, but like it was basically like I was, yeah, it's pretty much what you said. Like people they like, oh yeah, yeah, it's pretty much what you said. Like you took the words out of my mouth. But I'll
Yeah,
also add in my own personal experience, like um, like people do feel more drawn to me, but I do have a presence about like commanding more respect. You feel me? Like
mm-hmm.
it's just it is what it is. That's just my personal experience. You feel me? Like, yeah. And it could be my mind doing it too. Like, yeah, don't fuck with me.
Because
Or
you
yeah,
just it's just how you feel. It's not even that it's just you can't fake it. That's the thing. So you're not. It's not like you're trying to make yourself intimidated. It's just when you clear the trauma and the mental illness and you start doing then you just it's just something you naturally are. That's you being yourself. That when I talk about
yeah,
being yourself, you're shedding and removing all of the programming, all the trauma, all the bullshit, all like the subconscious habits that are due to insecurities, and you're shedding all that and cleaning that, and then you have a clean slate. So now your mind is just focused, and anything that comes in your mind is that of you. So it's like you have a clean slate and you're able to be focused. You're not operating on trauma, you're not operating on um, insecurity, which is trauma, and ego, which is trauma. It just everything is just, and even when you do have certain anger, and it's like it's directed, you know exactly what you're saying. Like you ever be like angry, but then when you're upset, you'll say things you don't mean. That's because you still have trauma. But when you're upset
mm,
and it's directed, and you don't regret what you said, that means you don't have trauma. But when you don't have trauma, doesn't mean you don't get angry. It's
mm,
just it's more of it's a healthy Mars energy. It's not like toxic where it's like you end up pulling out a gun and shooting somebody because you got traumatized. Now you're in jail. That's where you got trauma and you didn't heal. Versus if it's healthy, it's like you upset, but you're able to direct that anger and then communicate. That's why like nowadays I communicate more. Like if I feel upset and angry, over what somebody said, I go and connect the motherfucker was following me at Target. Like before, I would like just ignore it and be like, oh, I don't like just let it go. But this time I actually went up to the dude. I was like, is there a problem? You keep following me. Like I have even when I was live, the bitch was like looking at me. I went up to her
mm,
like, is there a problem? You keep I didn't even get disrespectful. I don't get violent. I don't even need to. I just say, is there a problem? Is there an issue? And you guys see me live, and she's like, oh, I work here. And I didn't even entertain what she said. I just said, if there's a is there a problem? Let me know. And she didn't want to answer the question. I just walked away and I just left. Like, and then she walked away. Like, I'm not. I communicate everything now, and like that's the first thing I do. Like, if there's an issue, you always want to communicate. You don't want to get loud and disrespectful, because that's not going to get you anywhere. I like to be like I did. This is why I always say when you wake up in the morning, there should be something you're trying to get to. Anything that doesn't get you there is a waste of time. Me fighting and arguing is a waste of my time unless it needs to get to that point. But if I can communicate it, that's all it is because I'm trying to save as much time to get me to point B. I'm not trying to argue and try to act like I'm right or prove that. If you want to believe you're right, you can believe you're right. Like,
right, 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 right.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
trolls in the comments, like they'll be all talking all this shit, and like they're sitting here talking shit like I'm supposed to prove to them I'm not what they say they are. And I'm like, that's your perception. You can believe I'm an idiot. You can believe I'm a dumb nigger. That's your perception because I don't know you. I don't give a fuck. Once I start trying to prove, oh, I got this money. I'm richer. I got this. I'm not stupid. And like that's when it's like you letting them win because you're letting them know that you're insecure. You care what they say. Like I don't need to prove nothing to no one, especially somebody who like doesn't mean who I don't like. Like I don't like. I always look at like if I don't fuck with you, I don't need to play fair. Like people are, oh, you gotta fight fair. You only fight fair and play fair if it's like a agreed upon match. If you're my enemy, then there's no rules. Like I'm trying to eliminate you. But
There's
I
no
don't,
rules.
and I don't need to prove nothing to you as well. I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to play fair. If you piss me off too much, I'll slap you behind. I'll sneak sucker punch you. But at that point, you're my enemy. You were already made an amends that we're an enemy. There's no honor amongst me being an enemy, especially if there's no money involved. I can understand if I had a big corporation and or a big let's just say I'm a chief of a village and there's another chief, then even though we may be enemies, it makes sense to come on a peaceful term because you got thousands of people in your tribe. You don't want to start no unnecessary war. That's an exception where you may have an enemy but you want to make amends. But all this social media shit, this little bullshit, or niggas in the hood and all this little dumb op shit, like at that point, like you really can't blame these YNs for saying, "Oh, these YNs crash out." And first of all, they in the hood, they get a shoot. Why would a scrawny ass YN sit here and play around with some nigga that's like 2 times his size? He's just gonna blow your fucking brain out. So you being a nigga like that, you should know that these niggas don't give a fuck because they don't care. Like, and I don't blame them really because we in a different time right now. Ain't nobody trying to play around with no bullshit. They say, oh, people don't fight like they did back in the day. Back in the day, there wasn't no social media where people could just put you on the internet and embarrass you for getting your ass beat. They didn't have that back in the day. Back in the day, people weren't ignorant as fuck. And after they fought you, they shook your hand. They didn't sit there and every day keep reminding you got your ass beat. So maybe that's the reason why niggas don't fight. Niggas would just go and blow your fucking head off. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying
Hey,
that's right. I'm
hey,
not saying that's
hey, it's
right.
funny. It's funny you say that because I was thinking about getting a gun because I really don't really fuck with that fighting shit unless I'm like actively trying to do fighting as like to make money and a career out of like as in like go to
Yeah.
the gym and stuff like that. Other than like people fighting people on the street, unless it's like we're doing like some social media stuff where it's like content creation. Other than that, bro, if somebody comes up to me in the street, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
pull out a gun. Like can't
Yeah,
even blame
and
them
you
either.
should. And it's not about just going to go kill. It's just I'm gonna show you my shit. Get the fuck away from me. Back up. Or like I even carry some makes or something, spray in the face. Like I'm not trying to waste my time because I don't have time to waste. And then you go like it's just no point. And then let's just say you go and you break the dude's arm or something, or the fight gets really brutal where you were end up being then you can still go to jail for years for that. Like there's somebody, my uncle said he had a friend who went to jail because he punched his coach or somebody in the face and they got knocked out and he got like 7 years for something. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, and he was fighting. So it's like, even then, it's like, I'm not even going to waste my time risk going to jail. Then you can get hurt. They can get hurt. It's like, it's no issue. I'm going to just diffuse the situation and then move on my way. If you can't talk it out, then there's no point in even talking. Like if there's that's why I
Right,
say people need to communicate. That's why it's always good to communicate. And then
right.
because usually like they'll and even then that may not even work because that's another thing they'll tell you. They'll be like, oh, if you want respect you got to get respect. And it's like that's a bullshit ass lie. I remember when I was in county one time and the guy was like, in here you gotta be respectful and show respect and you will get respect and you won't have no problem. That's not how it is. That's not how it is in county. That's not how it is in prison. Sometimes there's people who they're bored, they're miserable, and they will want to start a fight for no fucking reason. Because you got people in here who will pick fights, who will start issues, who will deliberately do some type of scam just to make you want to fight them. The people are just retarded in this world. So that's not how life works. Sometimes you can be respectful, and then that's actually being respectful is actually looked at as a disrespect for them to go and disrespect you because they look at you as weak. So you can't even really. It's like it's not even about doing anything to make an. It's about just being in alignment with self, moving at your discretion intelligently how you see fit, and if anybody has any problem then you deal with it accordingly how you feel like you need to deal with it. That's how it is. Nobody can tell you an absolute solution on how to do shit in life. You got to This is why it's good to have intuition and be very keen and know how to read energy so you can deal with each situation accordingly at that specific time because human beings can be really crazy out here, really.
Right, bro.
And you
Right,
also got to
bro.
watch your own energy as well because your own energy has at least 60% of the has a 60% of the reason why things will happen to you. Like you could be in situations where a motherfucker comes and you get like you see a lot of these niggas in horrible situations, and then they'll tell you on the news, this person got killed, this female got robbed, this innocent female was with her kids and she got hit by a car, and that's tragic and that's bad. I'm not saying that's good, but I want to know, what was she doing in her life 2 years before that incident, a year, 2 months. And if you were to look at, if you were to have a certain magic book and you could look at everything she was doing before she got hit with her kid in her hand, you will see that maybe she was doing something that had nothing to do with nothing with the situation, but that she wasn't in alignment with herself, with the spirit. The spirit said her warnings, and then that was a lesson that had to do with her. But then you don't see that. You just see the incident that just happened. So you don't know the whole perspective of what went down before it led up to the female getting hit with the kid in her. You just see a tragic story, which it is tragic, but maybe she has certain things she was supposed to do. She wasn't in alignment, and the spirit did that as a way to get her attention or whatever. And then the dude who did it to her, maybe he was going through certain lessons, and the spirit needed him to sit down in prison. So he was put in a situation where he crashed out and did that, and then now he's in jail, and it was all like synchronized and shit. Like they don't tell you the shit that leads up to stuff. To they just tell you the story, and then you thinking like life is one way and life is not, and it's like that's not how really life works. Like life is, like I said, you don't have free will 100%. Your life really doesn't belong to you 100%.
Right,
I'm not
right,
gonna. Yeah, you have free will, but you have free will to be in alignment with self. But you
right.
don't have that 100% free will, because this realm, this earth, doesn't belong to you. This is not your domain.
And much salute to you, bro. Like, cause you put me on, but I actually honestly did a lot of work, and I didn't tell you this, but like I got rid of my allergies. It's not
Mm,
100% gone, like,
yeah,
but that bitch, like, um, I don't even get allergies no more. I'm not saying that allergies is like a not normal thing, but like
yeah.
it's just the
It's manageable.
yeah, it's manageable. Like I still
That's
get like a
good.
little, I still get like a little snuffle truffle here and there, but like
I bet if you start fasting more regularly, that shit would probably be gone, like
yeah,
completely gone. Like, but yeah, like I said, we all just, what you're doing now is good enough. Like with the fasting thing, do that at your own will, whatever you feel the spirit leads you to do that. There's
mhm,
no rush. I'm not trying to, like, when I talk about fasting, I'm speaking from my mouth. When I
mhm,
like I said something like, if you're not doing 30 days, like that was me projecting. Like that's me.
mhm,
There's certain people, like if you were to do 7 days, your 7 days will be equivalent if I did 60 days, because we're each different. Some people, I've seen people, they fast for 14 days, they cleanse out all this parasites, they shit in parasites. Me, I fast for 20 days. The last fast I did, I didn't shit no parasites. Like I gotta go to like 60, 70 days, because that's just what my spirit and how everyone's different. Makes, not to say I'm
mhm.
better, or it just, I have more shit I have to do. Like me, because I have a North Node in Capricorn, so anything I do, I have to do it for the long run. I can't, like,
Oh,
my life is, I don't want to say it's extreme, because Capricorn is like North Node in Capricorn is probably one of the hardest placements to have. I don't want to say the hardest, but one, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and then I
mhm,
have a moon in Aries, so it squares my North Node. So
mhm,
like it by default, it's, I don't like the path that I'm supposed to be on. I like most of the shit I'm supposed to do in life, I've had issues of not wanting to do it. And like, so like I've
mhm,
always had to get, not that I don't want to get to where I want to get to. It's just the work it takes, because I'm very impatient, and everything I do, it takes forever. And that's what I always used to wonder, like, because I'll see people in life, and then they'll do things and they'll get it quick. And then like for me, it's like everything that I got quick and easy in my life, I had to do it illegally. I had to manipulate. I had to steal. I had to lie. But every time I did shit the right way, it would never come to me, or it would be very slow. And that's what pissed me off, for me to just be like, I'm just gonna just manipulate and not give a fuck. But then that's not good. I was missing the lesson. So now it's like I take it easy now, and if shit takes time, it takes time. And slowly but surely, like I've been doing yoga for like 5 years, since 2021. I'm feeling the benefits of that just recently,
mhm.
especially with me not needing to eat. So that's that Saturn. It took time, but when I first did yoga, I was like, why the fuck is this shit not taking? It's taking too slow, and I'll go and try to take drugs or different herbs to try to help me get
Well,
to in. Go ahead.
if it makes you feel better, bro, I'm on year two of Qigong. Wait, 2024. Yeah, I'm like on year two or one and a half of Qigong, and I'm not getting no crazy superpower. So
Yeah.
I just started doing yoga. Um,
A lot of that,
so
a lot
hmm?
of that superpower stuff, a lot of that shit is it's spiritual. Like when it comes, see, this is why I don't like this social media, because they'll try to make you think that, oh, if you do qigong or if you do breath work or if you meditate, you're gonna. A lot of that has nothing to do with it. Like when like how breatharianism, for example, like the last fast I went on was like, I think it was like 20 something days I went on. I ended it in March, and I noticed that whole fast I didn't feel like eating at all. Like I could eat, but I wasn't like starving or I needed food. Like I could have probably went another 20 more days and been straight, but I still wanted to eat, but I wasn't having hunger pains. I wasn't having like hunger, starvation. It was just I wanted to eat. That was it. Like that was it. So and I realized like a year ago, if I did like 10-day fast, I will be wanting to eat and have hunger pain. And then I looked at myself, I was like, what changed in a year? And when I look back, it was nothing. It was just me being in alignment. Because I said this in a previous video, when you're in alignment with yourself, then you will get the gifts, the spiritual gifts that the spirit wants to give you. Like one day, like the more you be in alignment and you do what you're supposed to do, then you'll wake up one morning with whatever you need. It's not that you have to train to get something. Sometimes some things you do, but there's some things like those superpowers you be seeing people step on water and or stepping on hot fire. That they didn't train for that. Just like somebody who's a painter. Like you see kids that be 8 years old, they're able to draw a masterpiece, photorealistic. They didn't learn that. That's something that was just in them, that the gift that was given. You can't train somebody to be Picasso or somebody who could draw anime photorealistic because you like anime. You can't train somebody to do that shit. Even if you train somebody who does, then it's never going to be as good as somebody who got it, because there's certain things that are just given to you. That is your gift, and
hmm
you have to, some gifts you're born with. Some gifts you have to prove to
Develop.
this. Yeah, you could call it developing, but I like to just say some things you got to prove to the spirit. You got to prove to the energy, whatever you want to go. You have to prove to it. Once you prove it and you go through what you need to go through, it will grant you that ability to do it. That
Mm,
so
mm,
when you see certain people who be walking on fire, it wasn't nothing. They, even if you want to say they meditated, they did all this. There's certain people who do meditate, but they don't be able to step on rocks, hot rocks, and do all this levitation shit. That's something that they were given, and they did something, and they were given it. Not to say if everybody did what they did, they're going to be able to do it. It's just that particular spirit was able to. Because think about it, why isn't everybody who does qigong able to have superpowers? So obviously, that's not the reason why people have superpowers. Because there's a lot of people, there's thousands of people who've been doing qigong for 40 years, longer than you, that can't even do that shit. So for you to look at it like, oh, qigong's gonna get me there, you need to look at it like, let me see if I'm in alignment with myself and be who I am. Maybe the spirit will give me that as a gift, as a creativity for me to be able to show people if that's what I'm supposed to even be doing. That's how you
mm.
should look at it, instead of like, oh, this Qigong's gonna get me there. Because you can go look at thousands of people that are good at Qigong, master trainers. They can't. They're not even breatharian. Like I talk about yoga and how it helped me. Like I literally believe that's the sole reason why I'm able to go on the long fast and not get hungry. It's because of yoga. Because not just overnight, but from 2021, before I started yoga, my diet was completely different until now. And this was 5 years. But 5 years before 2021, my diet was getting worse. I was eating more. I was stress eating more. But why after 2021, my appetite started getting less and I'm able to go on longer fasts. And the only thing different was I was doing yoga. But not to say yoga is, because I've seen people who've been doing yoga for longer than me and they still have a a ravish fucking. They still need to eat. Like they have a ravish appetite, and they can't.
Damn.
So it's like you got to just be in alignment with self and know do what you're supposed to be doing. And then
Right.
you will get whatever you need. And then certain things you don't get doesn't mean you just wasn't meant for you. But it doesn't mean
Right.
anything
Right.
bad.
Right. It's funny because one gift that I've got given to me during Qigong is that notice how I'm more attractive to women. But there's a gift and a curse, like you said, like
Mm-hmm.
you can attract the wrong women or you can attract the right women. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You can also get an STD from it if you're not
Yeah,
careful or
yeah,
unwanted kids. So you got to know how to use a gift, and then
yeah.
you don't want to abuse it because remember, like nothing is that's given to you is yours, and it could be taken
Right.
away. It's like it could be given to you, it could be taken away from you.
It's like you said, like when I was doing the Qigong, I didn't even know I'd be more attractive to women, but the spirit gave me that gift because it wanted to experience that experience, learn the ins and outs.
Yeah, and to be honest, it wasn't even that you're attracted to women. It's just your energy is just an attractive energy. So
Hmm.
in general, that's what it is. And one of the side effects to that is women are attracted to that. But in other aspects of your life that have nothing to do with women, you still have that attractive energy. Because it's not just it's only women. It's the energy is as attractive as well. So it could be a situation where it could be somebody who can give you an opportunity, and it's some ugly old ass man. You don't want to have sex with him, but yet he is attracted to you energetically to want to give you the opportunity to be doing. You see what I'm saying? Like, so they look at you attractive, but not in a sexual way, but in a way where I'm gonna actually give this dude a chance to give him this opportunity. So they're attracted. So it's deeper than just the women. It's an attractive energy you're developing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's like,
Hmm. Right, 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 right. I'm laughing because 'cause
I
you
like to
said
speak. I like to make like examples that are very like out there so people can get what I'm saying because
mhm.
it, just to get the picture, just to make people laugh too, because it's not all serious. It's good to
it,
have fun and laugh.
it's really not all serious, but like
Yeah.
I just be thinking like, damn, like there's really some people out here who use their attractiveness to be some OnlyFans stars shit, or to be some lustful demon or something.
For real.
Like, damn, you out here abusing, manipulating men, and I'm not saying nothing bad or good, but
But it doesn't even it's gonna always bite them in the ass
yeah.
in the end. It's gonna affect them. So it's
Hmm.
not really good because once you realize how much your life doesn't belong to you, you tend to not really want to do any manipulative, crazy shit like that. People who do stuff like that, they think they're in control. Like a person who's a serial criminal. The reason they're a serial criminal is because they think that they have control. Well, the police, they'll never catch me. And it's not that the police is smart. It's just you're not smart in the end because this is not your domain. This is not your realm. So this is something else, and some people like to call it God or universe, but it's not. It's like an energy. What it not even called energy, but this ain't your domain. This ain't your realm. Some people call it energy. Some people call it God, universe, but whatever. It's something, and you're in it, experiencing it, and it needs you just like you need it to be here. It needs you, otherwise it wouldn't be able to experience shit. So it ain't like oh it's superior. It ain't even really that. It needs you, you need it, and you're not in your experience. So when things happen to you and it's negative, it's just because you breached a certain parameter or meter. You breached the boundary, and it's telling, it's reminding you, oh, you don't have that
That's
much free will.
that's
So
funny. That's
yeah.
funny you saying because I was doing my little visualization meditation, and then
Mhm.
some told me every time you get a vision, this is not yours. You gotta catch it.
Yeah, it isn't because it's all like because you have certain visions, and then it's just you use it to you use that vision to help because it's there to give you a message, to send you a message, to put you on a track so you can have a certain experience, because it's all about experience really at the end of the day. So it's like something to help you, like to guide you, like a navigation tool to set you on a path, to give you some information to this is what you should be on to, just what you should do.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. You spitting. I can tell you actually did the work. And your North Node and Capricorn is like making it pay off. And then I got North Node and Taurus, so
Hmm.
I just
It's a
need
it's
to,
an earth sign, so it's more
yeah.
like bringing that shit practical. That means like especially with your North Node and Taurus.
Mhm,
Um, don't listen to anybody telling you about how spirituality is supposed to be about not having shit and being minimal. Even like when I say, because you're North Node and Taurus, you probably supposed to be trying to get some type of stability and be in the physical and accomplish something, and the spirit will help you get to that. Like if you were to have a lot of nice things, and but within reason, like let's say you're spiritual and you want to have a
mhm.
nice big house, the universe will support you because you have that North Node of Taurus,
That's
especially
funny because I had a dream
especially
about
if
a
you're
big
on your
house.
path. Go ahead.
That's funny because I had a dream about a big house.
Yeah, like if you on your path spiritually, this universe will support you because you got that North Node and Taurus. Me,
Hmm.
mine is more in Capricorn, so it's it's not but it's in the fourth house Capricorn, so
Hmm.
it's not. It's about. It's more so about my emotional security. It's not more so about the external when it comes to my Capricorn North Node. It's more like having to do with my own, because Cancer is the emotion. Capricorn is I'm supposed to have my inner security right. So regardless of what was going on externally, I'm supposed to have my internal shit right. This is why I talk about emotions and not letting have don't have roller coasters, have speed bumps. Because people say, "Oh, life is a roller coaster." It can be, but it also could be a speed bump. It's still up and down, but it's just a little bump versus roller coaster. And it when I say that, this is not to say that bad major things won't happen in your life, but just because something happens, you don't have to be phased by it like society programs you to be phased. So you can go through a chaotic, traumatizing event, but if you've done the inner work, it may not, you can get over it and keep living your life and be able to see it from a certain perspective where it's like, okay, it's sad, even down to somebody you love passing away. You able to see it, and it's not going to affect you like the average person because based upon what you know, it's not going to affect you if you've done the internal work. So nothing really phases you to that extreme level once you've done the work. That's my Capricorn North Node, because I remember I reached it. It was a certain state of awareness I reached at one
Hmm.
point, and when I reached this state of awareness, I didn't really give a like. I didn't. I was so in the present, and I didn't care about all the negative things that happened to me. They didn't upset me no more. And it was more like I was looking at it from a third perspective, and I understood on a deep level, and I was actually glad that some negative things happened to me because it gave me the fuel and the happiness at that moment. Like the things that made me the most depressed is what made me the most happiest at that moment, because I overcame it and it motivated me. And like it was weird. I can't really explain it. But once I reached it, I realized like that's the state that I know I'm supposed to be in, to say I've mastered myself 100. Then I fell from that state, like I was there, but I didn't fall all the way back, but it was like a blink, like a little. I was there for a minute, and it was weird. And then I came down, and I kind of like I've never really reached that point. This was back in like 2018. I've gotten
Hmm.
to a better state, but I've never reached that level of clarity at that point as I did. Like I've never completely reached that, but I know that I can reach that, and I'm supposed to reach that, and that's my main. Because when I was in that mind state, everything in my life was just magically working. This is why I always promote be in alignment and get your mind right.
Hmm.
Because once you do that, everything else comes together. Because everything, I will say, I don't like the easiest word I could say. Let's just say everything becomes easier, but I don't want to say easy because it's not really that. But you don't have to work as like you don't have to work hard like you think
Yeah,
you
man.
do. you're
Hmm.
only working hard to get to the mindset. Once you're at that mindset, then all the things that you think is important, that is very like mundane, that shit comes easy. Not to say you don't have problems, but your problems aren't going to be what you think is a big deal. Your problems are going to be other things that the spirit may throw at you. But as far as stuff that you think is a big deal, like like you say, women, money, material, stability, all of that stuff. Once you reach that mindset, that's like mundane. It's taken care of all by default. But you will still have issues. But like I said, with the internal work, you'll be able to handle those issues more sanely. And it's like because that's as long as you're in this reality, you're gonna have issues because we're all astrological. We all are born under an astrology blueprint. So you were born on whatever day you were born. So your moon
Hmm.
is in this sign, your sun is in this sign. So eventually, your alignments are gonna square, oppose, or in conjunct a certain energy. That's just by default. If you're an Aries moon, eventually we're going to go through Capricorn season where the sun may be squaring your moon, so it might be a little negative for you. You see what I'm saying? So we all have to go through that, but it just depends on how much work you've done and if you're in alignment, and then how bad it will be. And when it in if it's really bad, that means you're really out of alignment. But if it's just a little inconvenience, you can just pick yourself up and just go through it. Then that time you already know it's coming. So when negative things happen, you just know how to just stay grounded. And when negative things happen, you know what's going on. And then once you make it out of that transit, then you'll be like, okay, I'm glad I stayed sane.
Boy, that Qigong, that yoga grounding, boy, that shit really stabilizes my being. Like, boy, that shit. Boy, I walk into every circumstance. I'm not as anxious. I'm not as afraid. Like, I still feel those feelings. Don't get me wrong, because like,
But they're very
mm,
minimal, which is good
yeah,
because you're able
yeah,
to think clear. So they're not like I said, that's a speed bump. It's not a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster. It's an emotional speed bump. So you're gonna still feel it because you're a human. But how
hmm,
severe is it? Just like what hurts more, a paper cut or a knife cut to the eye?
knife cut to the eye.
Yeah, but at the same time, paper cut is still pain, but it's manageable. So you're gonna still have these emotions, but you want to make these emotions manageable where it's like a paper cut. It's not like
Right.
no, regardless of what happens outside. It could be something extremely tragic. It's once you develop internally, it's just gonna be a little small paper cut, like the emotional way you feel. So
Hmm.
and that takes time to get there. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is possible to get there. That's what I want. That's the reason I'm saying because it is possible to get there. And I'm not saying if something tragic were to happen to you right now or to anyone, you're gonna just shrug it off. Like people go through stuff, and that's normal. I'm not. I don't feel like oh I'm not done the work because I feel sad because I'm not. I'm just telling you what is possible and what we all should be working towards, and it is possible to get to that state emotionally through
Yeah,
healing.
and before I go, I would like to say something because you made a good point saying like if you don't like to step outside, something wrong with you, bro. Ever since I've been doing Qigong since like a couple
Mhm.
years ago,
Yeah,
every time.
the outside rejuvenates you. It's like
Oh,
it
so,
fuels
bro,
you.
I outside like it just feels like heavenly.
Yeah,
It just feels heavenly, and I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to put it in words. Like it's just
because you're feeding off that energy. You're feeding because you open up your channel, so you're feeding off that energy that's in nature. So that's what you're feeling like because your channel's open. So when you walk, I like to look at it like when you take a when you're on a when you're young, you go to Disneyland and you get on the ride. In the beginning of the ride, like you jump on like the it's a small world ride, whatever ride, it
Mhm.
shows like you're like driving and then you're looking at all the scenery and like you're about to go in the cave and it's like you see all the little things. I feel like when I walk in nature's and I'm like vibrating, how that's how it feels like. It feels like I'm on a ride at Disneyland. Like I'm walking and I'm just looking around. It feels like I'm on a ride. Like that's how I look at it, kind of like I'm on a ride or some shit. Like that shows you really vibing high. Like, I don't want to say vibing high, but it just shows you're really it didn't
You
show shit other than
synchronize.
you just feel it. I don't want because if I say vibe and high, I don't want people to look at it like, oh, vibe and high means this. That's just an experience that we trained ourselves to be in. I want to just keep it like simple because
You just feel good, right?
yeah, you just feel good and you just trained your mind to have an experience because you've done certain work and practices and put your mind in a certain space.
Right, 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 right. Boy, I'm gonna be real. Like it wasn't easy because what's the name? Trauma could you you have to get over your trauma, and there was a lot of
Hmm.
stuff stored in my spine
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So it was also a lot of bodily stuff too. But once I
yeah.
got rid of
And
those,
no, go ahead.
once I got rid of those, like the intense emotion I would feel, um, it was all getting like cleared, it just cleared away.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Now that I'm doing like the actual spiritual work, stuff is getting like cleared. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I have zero insecurities, but like I started attacking my insecurities. Like, how do I feel dumb in this situation? Like, nigga, who said this was dumb? You know what I'm saying? Who said niggas who for example, like I wasn't that good at school. I said to myself, who said you had to be good at school to be smart? You know what I'm saying? Who said this? You know what I'm
Real, it's
saying? You get what I'm saying?
programming, bro.
Yeah.
And you start believing that, and a lot of people, especially like a lot of younger people, like usually when you get older, you tend to just not give a fuck because it's just the older you get. But like people that are younger, they tend to have that like you want to do what society says, and it's good that you're young and you're getting those programs out of your brain,
Mhm.
like because it frees up a lot of this like mental space because you don't want to be thinking all day about shit like what somebody told you because most of those programs that were fed to you they have nothing to do with your well-being. It's all about capitalism, money, and making this system keep turning. So they need you thinking that. So you, even though you feel insecure, when you feel insecure, you go into the system, even if it means you just going to work at McDonald's. Like there's a lot of people who work at McDonald's who barely can pay rent, who are broke, and they only have $2 after they pay their bills. They can go move with their parents, or they can go and quit and save money and be on their spiritual path and do something. But they're so insecure about, oh, I'm a grown ass man, I'm supposed to have my own rent and place. And yeah, you are, but if you just work at McDonald's and you scrape and buy and you only have $2 after all your bills, if you have a chance to move in with your parents and say fuck that, and they're willing, I'll say go and live with your fucking parents at that point. I'll say there's no, at that point there's no, what you're just living to pay
Motherfuckers,
bills.
motherfuckers is too deep in their pride and ego. Only
Yeah, and
not
they're, and
only
they're not
that,
getting nowhere in their life.
not only that, they following some societal program like, oh, I need to be
Hmm.
on my own, not
Yeah,
knowing that like,
that
people who be on their own, like they already got like literally everything physical going on, like a good job, good credit, like they're with their my bad, I can't see I can speak, but someone they're where they at in life is where they need it to be, is what you're trying to
yeah,
say, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going through. There's some people who you don't know. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to. You don't know what somebody's going through. There was this one when I used to go to the real estate seminars with my dad years ago. There was this one lady that she was talking about how this lady was in real estate and she was making millions of dollars in real estate and she had cancer and died. And I'm looking at like a lot of people like when you have certain diseases like that, you die. It usually mean you weren't yourself because there's some spiritual people who they it's easy for them to get money. It's easy for them to get their business to be $1 million annual, and their purpose is to sell all their shit, give up all the material. That's their purpose, but they get lost thinking that, oh, life is supposed to be like. That's why I say nobody can really tell because this whole spiritual community, they'll tell you, oh, spirituality is not about being broke, it's about being rich. And then yeah, other people say spirituality is about being broke. Like it's about neither, and it's about both depending on the person. There's some people who they wealth comes easy to them. Their mission is about detaching from everything and living minimal. That's what their spirit wants. There's some people it's the opposite. You some
Yeah,
people it, so you got to know what's for you. You can't
I
just
feel
be
like
assuming.
I feel like my this is just spirit confirmation. I feel like my life is like the completely opposite because I don't know why, but when I'm in minimal situations and stuff like that, um, it just feels too comfortable to me. As in, I already know what to do.
Yeah, because you got a North Node in Taurus, and
Yeah.
you have a South Node Scorpio. So when it comes to like trauma and dark spaces and just secretive shit, like you're familiar with that. So you're trying to get more stable. Like the universe will support you in being stable. Like you probably when you're too stable and nothing's going on, you probably kind of don't like that shit too much. You have to probably like to have shit switched up a little bit with shit's getting to stability for you sometimes. And so not just with material, but with other aspects. Because
Hmm.
with that North Node in Taurus, like it's stability, and
Hmm.
that's what you're supposed to be. But that, like I said, it could be depending on where your moon, your sun, and all the other, and how it conjuncts your North Node. That could play a role in it too. How you feel about it,
Hmm.
but like your North Node is about stability, is about
Hmm.
having something stable, having a routine, and getting doing some getting your shit together your in terms of earthly shit, your earthly affairs like money,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stability, house, and
But
then
don't
your
get me
yeah,
don't get me wrong. I got a Scorpio sixth house, and I have a
okay.
stellium in there. Not a Scorpio stellium, just like a stellium in that Scorpio sixth house.
Mm,
That means I gotta be comfortable with my routines and patterns.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, don't get me wrong. I always attract like gritty. I always attract like gritty under the ground people. Basically, like could be from the suburbs, but
Mm-hmm.
attract a lot of Y ends. Attract a lot of or when I was in like the suburban areas, like a lot of drug addicts, like um
Yeah,
broken people, just to remind myself like what I already learned and not to get into those type of things.
yeah,
Hmm. But
that's crazy
anyway, I'm gonna go.
for sure.
Um, yeah, bro. I appreciate like the wisdom you told, bro, and it's all aligning with myself and what you saying and with
Yeah,
spirit. Cause like I was like, damn, let me hop on because like I just went through this experience with like a chick and shit. And like no shade to her, like I could see the good in her, but she was just damaged. Like,
yeah. If I
you know
were
what I'm
you,
saying?
if I was you, if I was gonna go on a date, you should try to meet females in person. um, the best way to meet women that will probably show the least amount of mental illness is doing something productive. Like you like qigong, go do something with qigong. Go create a qigong class, and then maybe when you create a class, one of the females who take your class, that's a potential partner. Or go to a qigong place where they do qigong, or
Hmm.
let's say you do MMA, you may find a girl that you sprawl like you may want to talk about MMA. She does MMA, you do it, but you're in a situation where you're doing something you love, and then you meet a female there. That's the best way to meet a female. That's the best way to meet a female with the least amount of mental illness is doing something you love doing and being in that type of environment. And then the females that are in that environment, choose from those females and make it an in-person thing. That's the best
Okay.
way to meet type females.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do yoga, workout general girls and girls do who yeah, workout general girls like gym girls and shit.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like I said, you want to be in a space where it's like you really enjoying it, not like, oh, I'm gonna go find I'm just gonna go to the gym to find a girl, because you go to the gym, most of these bitches at the gym are retarded, mentally ill, especially go to the gym. Like the gym is probably one of the worst places to meet people, because a lot of
Mm.
like 99% of people in the gym have mental illness. That's why when you see like people say, oh, I want to have muscle, I want to get yoked, but then if you ever think about it, 90%, 99% of the niggas who got the most muscle are the most awkward, the most weirdest. They got no fucking style. They got no swag. They just got a bunch of muscle and that's it. It's always the nigga who probably a little fat and who got like a charisma and they don't got a physique, because most people who go to the gym and spend time to get muscle, they're insecure from a young age. They got body dysmorphic disorder. Even that nigga Kali Muscle, The white dude was calling him small. Oh nigga, you small. He was on his watermelon fast diet. The white dude was calling him small and shit, and he's all trying to act like he don't give a fuck. This nigga got back on steroids, and he just had a heart attack in January. I'm not talking bad about that because I don't like wish negative on no one because I don't want that on me. But he had a heart. I knew he was on steroids because last year this nigga got on steroids, and he didn't tell. He first he was on a watermelon diet, right? And he was all like, I don't care if I'm small. And when I'm like, that's a lie because he admitted that he has body dysmorphic disorder. Every bodybuilder that takes steroids has body dysmorphic disorder. It's a disease where they look at themselves as ugly or unattractive, even though there's nothing wrong with them. A lot of these bodybuilders who look fucking jacked and look like, damn, like I wouldn't have a physique like that. They be saying like, oh, I'm not big enough. I'm like, you big, but it's a mental illness. So he claimed that he had that shit years ago when I used to watch this nigga. Then fast forward, he went on the watermelon diet. He's like, oh, I don't care about how I look. I'm gonna do what I want to do. This white dude, fucking that he used to be cool with, that he fell out with, was beefing with, say, oh, you're small, you ain't shit, Kelly, and this and that. Everyone was calling him small, and he wasn't even small when he was on that diet. He was still like jacked as fucking ripped, but he has body dysmorphic disorder. A couple years later, he went back on steroids. First, he was on watermelon. Then he's like, well, I'm gonna just eat fish and eggs. Then he started eating other shit. And then he's like, and then he went on steroids because when he goes on steroids, he looks like an angry ass, broke ass security guard that works at the library. And that's how his face looks when he goes on steroids. It looks crusty and like a security guard at the library. So when he started looking like that, I'm like, nigga, you look how you did back when you were on steroids. And I seen it. This was like last year. And then he never had said that he was on steroids, but I knew it because when you go on steroids, you have a certain look, and I can read energy. People on steroids, they have a certain energy. And he went back on steroids. He thought nobody would know. I knew, but nobody was talking about it. And then he had a heart attack in January, and it was because of the steroids he was on. And
Damn, he had a heart attack in Capricorn season, so that was a Saturn reality lesson for him.
it's crazy. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, what?
Yeah, he had it in the beginning of. He had it on his because he's born like the day before my dad's birthday, so he had it on the Aquarius cusp. He had it in the Aquarius season. It was an Aquarius season, Aquarius Capricorn season. He's an Aquarius.
Oh, so, damn.
Yeah, and he had his first heart attack in Scorpio season, which is squares Aquarius. And he had his fucking heart attack the same day his homie had a heart attack. Like this shit all lined up. Like this shit was crazy. So that was like a lesson, and it's crazy because he went back on steroids and then he had a heart attack again. And I knew he was on steroids because his face started looking crusty, like I could tell. And then this was like the beginning of 2020. No, this was actually like mid 2025. When I knew he went back on steroids. And then he had this heart attack, and I don't know if he's on the steroids or not, but like, it's crazy. I don't know why I was, but yeah.
Yo, okay. Also, like, I want to say this, this last thing, but I was gonna say that Kylie Muscle, like that was the dude I was even looking at like, damn, I want to be like him, but. Bro, I genuinely like to build my body up, like to have like a nice buff physique and shit. But like I do always notice that like those dudes that be chronically in the gym, that like be gym bros, there's nothing wrong if you want to actually be that way. But like those dudes that like go there, they get buff for bitches and shit, like they
They
always
hella
get
weird.
they're hella weird and like they always get no ho.
They get what?
They always get no hoes. And then
Yeah,
it be
it's mainly like men that look at it. Even the women they do get, they be like, the women they do get be like fucking like weird ass bitches that probably work out like them, or like it's just weird. Like I'm not gonna say all of them because there are some that like they get muscle and they normal, like Chris Jones. He's one of them. Like he gets muscle, but he's still like he's like a regular nigga who just has muscle. There's some people who just regular, like the niggas who are the most regular that have muscle are the niggas who get muscle when they like locked up in jail. Like you go to prison, you go to jail, and they get yoked in jail. Those would be like niggas like they got muscle, but it's regular. But when you see a nigga that gets yoked and they didn't go to prison and get that prison body, they just went to 24-hour fitness and just got jacked. Those would be the weird motherfuckers because like a lot of that comes from insecurity, mental illness. Not to say it's wrong to work out, but the amount of time, energy, and effort it takes to build such a big body, for you to even, for most people to have that motivation, you have to be an athlete. So you're training to, like a boxer or basketball or football. So you're training to get that for a reason. Or if you're not doing that, you're doing it because of insecurity. Because something has to motivate you to want to spend years to build your body. And if it has nothing to do with your occupation, like you're an athlete or boxer or football player, then it's going to be you have insecurity. So you got picked on when you're younger. You have body dysmorphic disorder. I said most bodybuilders, they have body dysmorphic disorder. So when they get jacked, so when they go, so when you have that mental illness, you're insecure with how people think of you. So now you got to go into these bodybuilding competitions and shit. All of that bodybuilding competition is all some gay Masonic imagery. Like if you look at the symbolism, it's all a bunch of old ass gay homosexual men who have fetishes of muscular black niggas. That's mainly what it is. White Masonic homosexual judges that they lust after like black muscle, and it's all this gay shit. And then they judge men on their body and shit and tell you to pose this way. It's a homosexual thing, like because like for you, I'm not saying everybody who does bodybuilding is gay, because most people do body, they're just trying to get known and be successful in that field to help because a lot of them are trainers. They want to be a trainer, and it actually looks good if you won a competition and you're a trainer. You can use it as a certificate. Well, I won Mr. Olympia, and and then people want to train you. You can make money, which I understand it, but most of that whole shit, it stems from homosexuality. Like the judges,
that makes a lot of sense because like
that's why they make them wear tight underwears and shit. And I'm like, why they? And then the underwears be pink sometimes. And
it's like, why are you watching men like pose?
Yeah,
and I've always been into like
and
building up my
it's nothing.
body.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I always been into building up my body, but only because I've been doing sports since I was like 5 years
Yeah,
old. And
yeah. It,
again, that's just the way I am. And then of course women gonna like it on me, but it don't work for everybody. But like I'm attracting like the right type of women. Those women are also into those type of stuff as well. But yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
They are like it. And to be honest, it's like that huge muscle shit. Most women don't even be attracted to that huge muscle shit that they show you, like the Olympians on steroids. Mainly, even bodybuilders, they will say that mainly men compliment them, and women don't like that too much muscle shit. Like when it's a normal size, then, but when it's like the steroids and it's big, even bodybuilders, they don't train. The average bodybuilder on steroids does not train for women. They don't care about women. Like they're just one bodybuilder. This nigga's huge as fuck. This nigga, he's huge as fuck. This nigga's awkward as hell. I forgot his name, but he's like one of the big bodybuilders now, and he's like a Gen Z. But I forgot his name. But this nigga, like, he can't even talk to women. Like he was talking to a female, and they're like, it was like a YouTube video of him like
I think I
stuttering.
know you talk about like Sam Sulek.
Yeah, that dude. That nigga, like, he's hella weird and shit. Like, when you see him, you're like, oh, he's a body. But when you hear him talking, you see his person, like, this nigga has no, like, you could tell he has a lot of mental illness due to body dysmorphic and insecurities. And he built muscle, and it just shows you building muscle. If you don't deal with the trauma, building muscle isn't going to really help heal that. And he's an example of that because he looks awkward as fuck. You could tell he don't get no bitches really. And even if he does, it's probably because of his money or not because of his muscle or his game or nothing. And even like the muscle that, like with that muscle, most women don't like that big shit. Like I used to want to be that big when I was like 18. I want to be big and take them up, but it's like I don't even want to be that big. I would rather be no more than 190. And plus, because my physique, I could be like 220 pounds of muscle and still look skinny because I have a slender physique. Like there's been people with my type of physique that are like 230 pounds and they still look skinny because I have a very but my muscle's still there, so I could be like 200 pounds and look like I'm 170. So because that's just how my physique is. So like me, I would probably have to like me. I could be at the gym every day, all day for the rest of my life, and I still look slender. So I'm not like short and like I'm not really like my not even short because even people that are tall, they have this issue. Like my body isn't like kind of like it takes me a long time to build muscle, but when I do build muscle, it's very like it's different. Like it's like I can lift a lot for my weight because my muscles proportion differently. But
Well, yeah, bro. I'm gonna
yeah,
head out, bro. Much wishes, much love, bro. Like
yeah, you
fucking,
too.
yeah, bro. Like fucking. I'm gonna just say, like, I'm probably getting used as a vessel for spirit and every other person to say, like, I'm witnessing results in real life over this qigong and yoga.
I believe, yeah, for real. I can tell too how you change. Like when they used to go live with me like a couple years ago, I could tell like you can you've been growing. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Like, and that this stuff like really works in a real way, not no like bullshit. Oh, 5 minute qigong workout. Nah, bro. I've been practicing on it. If I couldn't do it physically, I always do some mental qigong work. Like, that's what I've been doing, like manipulating my chi. That's what one superpower I've like developed.
Yeah, I, I'm
Manip-
I'm gonna I'm gonna do a qigong workout in the near future. Hopefully
mhm,
this coming week, I'm gonna do a qigong workout and
mhm,
yeah, just to do it, just show you guys, just to because I stopped doing it online, and I've been doing my qigong I probably do it like once every other week now, but I'd be focusing more on yoga and my fasting. That's really what I'm focusing on because my
mhm.
fasting is the main thing I'm really trying to focus on at this point, and like I feel like I reached a milestone with that, and because like when I go on long fast now, they're not like it's a lot easier, and I've overcame. I even had a dream when I was on my last fast, and it was weird. It was just like all I remember was it was like um you're like all I remember I was in a group, and
Mhm.
there I guess it was like some type of so I heard a voice saying this group is people who like they don't need to eat, and it was like other people that were studying us. And like, who are these people? Like, they don't need to eat. That's all I really remember from that part of the dream. And it was like it was literally that. That was the dream. Like, it was like I was in a group, and they're like, this group of people, they don't need to eat. We need to watch them to see what's going on. And then I woke up from it.
Oh
It was,
damn.
yeah, it was like these people,
Mhm.
they don't need to eat. And it's like we need to study
Well,
and watch them.
well, well. For my testimonial, um, I've been eating,
Yeah.
but when I got hungry, it wasn't no fuck. I need to eat right now. It was like,
Hmm.
oh, hold up, let's go
Yeah.
find something to eat real quick.
Yeah. I,
It
like.
it was like that.
Hmm. That's how I am. Like when I eat now, it's out of pleasure. Like
Mhm.
that's literally the only reason I eat now. Like even when I go and eat, it's like it's like a drug. I feel like when I eat, it's like I'm smoking weed or it's a drug. Like even after I eat, I will get high because I don't really because my body doesn't need it. Like I remember I was eating something one day, and the
Mm.
guy's like, "Man, you eating that? You're eating that like you haven't eaten before." But it wasn't because I was hungry. It was like I was it was like a drug to me. Like the way it tasted, like it's different.
Mm.
But at the same time, it's like I'm extremely picky on what I eat. Like I can only eat a few things. Like I don't like a lot of shit. Like I only eat
Mhm.
a handful of things. That's it. Even when it comes to fruit, like a lot of the fruit, if I eat too much of something, I get sick. Like I can't. Like, that's how I know I need to fast because when I end my fast, I'll eat a bunch of stuff. But then I feel my body will show me signs that I need to go back on my fast because shit starts. It doesn't taste as good, and I start getting sick from certain food, and it doesn't like not sick like throwing up, but it doesn't sit right with my stomach, and I just feel like I gotta go fast. I don't need to eat any of this shit no more. So
Right,
then that
right,
makes me
right.
want to go fast. because
Right.
yeah.
Right. What I do notice is like you said you couldn't really.
And the funny thing is, it'd be like I be looking forward to me getting hungry. Like when I'm not hungry, I'd be like, damn, I want to be hungry so I can eat. Cause I don't be hungry like that. But then like because I don't, it's easy for me to go on these long fasts. But then when I break my fast and I eat, I be waiting for myself to get hungry. Like I'd be like there'll be days I'll go through the whole day and I don't even be hungry, and I'd be kind of like mad, hoping I'm hungry so I can eat. Because if I eat when I'm not hungry, it don't feel good. It only feels good when you're hungry when you eat. So like when I'm not hungry, I be kind of hoping like, damn, I kind of wish I was hungry so I can eat this fucking this food I have right here. But it's like is yeah, that's not good. I'm not saying that's good, but like sometimes I be thinking that because and then that's a good thing for me because like that shows that I'm not supposed to be eating. But then the fact is I do eat is that's not good.
Damn. Well, yeah, bro. Well, from my experience, is like spirit is like making me indulge in food because that's like my spiritual path.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean like
Hmm.
the days where like straight up I'll forget eating. It's
Yeah.
just that like every
You.
time I eat
Yeah.
food, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. Cause I sometimes I have a habit of always just cutting in on
Okay, you're
people.
good.
So my
You
bad.
good. It's like every time I eat food, it's like, oh, okay, like the comfort level goes up, and what happens is like I could digest the food better, and like it don't disturb me as like it used to.
Hmm. That's good. That means you.
So
That's good.
so it's like for me personally, it's like spirit is doing something. Spirit wants to experience this. As your spirit wants you to experience. They cut this food shit out. And
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense with your North Node being in Capricorn
Yeah, because
restriction.
cancer is about food. Like cancer, that's rules the home, cooking, culinary, food. That's cancer, and like at the same like when I don't eat is that's when I have like the most biggest realizations. Like when I don't eat, man, is like it gets to a point where like it's like life becomes it becomes more magical and different for me. Like if I were to go out, like I can't explain it. It just it feels like I'm in a different world because I'm able to experience. Like when I'm eating, I'm actually like trying to get things done. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to get this done. But when I go like days without eating, I can just relax and then things just happen to me. But
I'm the opposite. When I go eat out somewhere, I just have the best day.
yeah, that's your North Node Taurus, though, because Taurus rules food and pleasures as well. You're supposed to North Node rules pleasure and the nervous system and feeling good, and it's
Hmm.
because it's Venus, so
Hmm.
that is ruled by Venus Taurus. So your your North Node, you're supposed to enjoy life. That's part of it. Like you don't want to be too obviously too much into anything because if you're too much in your North Node, it can cause problems, but you also don't want to be too much in your south node because if you get too much in your north node, it can actually scare your spirit because you're in too much of an unfamiliar space. Just like you don't want to be too much in your south node because if you're too much in your south node, you're too much in your familiar space. So it's about you want to be more in your north node, but not too much in it. But you
Hmm.
want to be more in your north node than your south node, but not too much. Because if you're fully in your north node, then you're going to create a situation where your spirit's gonna you're gonna create a fearful situation where you're gonna end up having to go back to get some of that south node energy. Like
Hmm.
it's like being in a dark cave with the light off. You don't know where you're at. You're scared. That's the same feeling you'll get when you're too much in your north node. You'll create a situation where you're confused because there's a dark side of Venus as well as a positive side. So you don't want to get
Hmm.
too much because that can lead to like addiction to pleasures or being too material or too fixated on stability where it can like backfire. You don't want to be too even when the Venus, a negative Venus is a whore, like a hooker. or something. Not to say you're that, but like it's Venus. The dark side of Venus is like prostitution or hooker, because it's supposed to be like a female, feminine, but it could be like manipulation into sex. And like that's the dark side of it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny because you was just talking about prostitutes.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
shit, no offense, but bro, like I went and bought one of them. They treat you. Some of these prostitutes treat you better than some of these hoes out here, like
because they're getting paid.
because they getting paid right. So shit, if you ever if you thinking about it, you might want to try it out because it might be a good experience for you. But who am I to say?
Yeah,
No,
it, yeah,
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying like you better watch out because you know it's still a gritty situation. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
yeah. It just depends. Some people it's meant for. Some people they don't want to do it. It's just I look. You just gotta look at what's right for you.
yeah, right.
And
But anyway,
yeah.
bro, I'm a peace out. This is a
All right. Yeah.
good
And
convo, but yeah,
yeah, for sure. All right, then. Shout out to Mysterio. Yeah. Peace. But anyways, I might end up in this live stream. I'm just chilling right now. But that was a good convo. Shout out to Mysterio. Yeah, still good to it's good to know that it's not everybody's a bot on here. I know there's a few people on here, but Damien said a lot of people have health problems, damage from relationship with their parent, from damaged relations. Exactly. Yeah, a lot of health is. That's why I say health is spiritual. It's not. I would say health is 35%, 30 to 35% spiritual, and no, 30 to 35% physical, and the rest is um spiritual. So 30% spiritual, 70% physical is health. Health is 30% physical and 70% spiritual. This is why you'll see people who eat. You'll see people who like live to be 70. Like, how is this person still alive and they smoke cigarettes? That's because, like, the way I say it is, if to be old, to be an old man or to be an old woman, you have to be spiritually advanced or spiritually immature. You can't be in the middle, because to make it as an old person, every time I see an old person, I always look at them as somebody who's spiritually advanced or spiritually newbie. 90% of old people that you come across are spiritual noobs. They're spiritually amateur. That means because you can't make it to an old age unless you're an amateur spirit or you're an advanced spirit. Because if you're an advanced spirit, you know better. And if you don't do better, the spirit won't allow you to live old. You'll probably be gone before you reach age 50 or something because you didn't do it right. But for somebody to be old, like 80, 90, most of the time, especially in this society, they're a spiritual amateur. That means the spirit gave them grace, because you can't make it to age 90 without being a spiritual amateur or spiritually advanced. You can't be a regular person or like in the middle. It doesn't happen. That's why most old people go to an average old person. They're very stupid. They're very dumb. Not to say they don't have no knowledge or wisdom. Some do, but the average old person, they're very dumb. They're very amateur, like these boomers. It's because they have grace. They're amateur spirit. So the spirit gives them grace. So they made a lot of mistakes when they were in their 30s or 40s. They got grace. If you're an advanced spirit, you don't get no grace. That's why you have to get it right early and shit. That's why you see a lot of Gen Z complaining about a lot of like issues in regards to finances, health, at a young age, but you don't see the old people when they were our age in the 30s and 20s. They weren't complaining. because they have more grace. And then the people that are about the younger generation that aren't complaining about that, they're doing what they need to do to take care of themselves financially and health wise and spiritually. So they're not complaining. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't have the grace. A lot of Gen Z, the Gen Z generation and the younger ones, they, you don't have the grace as the boomers had. That's why you don't have that's why you have different type of issues. And you say, oh, it's hard to make it and we didn't get it easy like them. It's not, you still have a chance. It's just you got to do it a different way. And you know your spirit's more advanced. So it's not that, oh, we the Gen Z can't make it. It's like they got to do it in a different way. And if you don't do it in that way, then you're going to get more repercussions because you know better. So you have to do better. So you don't get as much grace. That's why Gen Z complaining about certain health and finance and other issues, compared to the boomers, they're not really complaining. But it is what it is, though. But I'm just chilling. I want to sit on this bench right here. I got a TV and everything, but it's fucking dirty out. I don't know if I want to sit on that dirty ass couch. Even this right here is kind of dirty. It's all dusty and shit. So, but damn, it's been almost 2.5 hours. So lovely. I don't know. The day's just going by hella fast nowadays, man. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy because the days just be flying. This is why, like, I notice, like, when I do my fast, the days go by a little bit more slower. But not even really, though. I can't even really say that. They do in the beginning, but it doesn't matter what you do. Time goes by quick. But it just shows you we're in a different time right now. That's why time's speeding up, because we're in a different. This is why I told you it's about getting your mind right and being in the flow. It's not about doing so much shit. And anything you do is supposed to be like directed energy. So if you're doing something, it needs to be a purpose to it. You can't just make mistakes, and because nowadays it's like you don't have time to waste really now. Everything's supposed to come in a different way. Like, not back in the day, people used to be able to read a lot of books to get knowledge, and you had time to do that. Now it's like you don't even have time to really do all that shit. So like knowledge and wisdom, all that's supposed to be coming in different ways. And if you can't get it that way, then you're gonna be fucked. I don't know how people work at these 9-to-5s and commute. Like, you got people who work 9 to 5 and then they'll go and commute 2 hours to and from work, and then they have to work 9 to 5. Like, they don't even have no life. And then this is part of the reason why you have so much mental illness, because most people aren't even living life. So I don't. It's crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna probably end this live stream. I'll be back on in a few days, and I'll probably do another driving video or some shit. I'm gonna be starting my fast tomorrow. That's another thing I want to talk about. I'm gonna be starting my fast tomorrow. I'm not documenting my fast anymore. I don't like to count the numbers, because I notice when I count the numbers and I say I'm gonna do it for 10 days or 20 days, like, I don't like doing that, because it creates a, like, it makes me feel like I gotta reach this day, and like, and then once I reach that day, I can go longer, but then I don't go longer, or like, so I'm just gonna make it like I don't know how long this fast is gonna be. I'm just gonna be however long I make it, but yeah, I'm gonna start tomorrow, and I'm just gonna go on. I don't know how long it's gonna be, and even when I do end it, I'm only gonna take 1 day off. So if let's just say I ended in 10 days, I'm gonna take 1 day off, and then I'm gonna go back, and then I'm gonna go as long as I can. I'm probably gonna go 10 days and take a day off, and then the next one I'm gonna go indefinitely, just so I could train my body the first time. But yeah, but I'm gonna start tomorrow, and I'll probably do I do my fast the day I go live the day after tomorrow. So on the 20th I go live. Because when I'm on my fast, I'm more when I make videos on my fast, I feel like I'm more real to you guys. I'm more real. I say what's more on my mind. I don't give a fuck more. Because when you fast, it makes you become more real. Not to say this is the only way you have to be real. Like there's other ways, but when you fast, it strips. So when you don't have nothing, when you're not consuming anything, you become more of yourself. So a lot of triggers, a lot of just a lot of things that you think that you healed from, it comes up when you're fasting. That's what a lot of you guys gotta understand. When you don't consume, and it's not about, oh, I'm fasting for food. It's just you're not consuming nothing. When you're not putting anything in the body, drugs, alcohol, food, tea. You just put water, and even some people go beyond water. I do dry fasting, but I always add water at least on the 7th day. If I go longer than 7 days, but when you do that, you become you just become more real. You see things more real. You may be watching something on TV or consuming something or talking a certain way. When you go on a fast for like without food or just water, then you'll realize like certain shit you used to entertain, you don't entertain no more. You don't like certain movies. You don't like to watch certain content, just because you don't have that shit you don't have those drugs in your system. So I'm gonna start my fast tomorrow, and I'm gonna keep you guys tuned in to this fast. Usually I don't keep you guys tuned in, but I'm gonna stay tuned in for this one. Yeah, and I'm gonna end this fast. I'm gonna end this live.